Good evening. Welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. This is the second run of Death, Frost, Doom. I've got five fresh players here ready to experience the terror. And this is my second one shot, basically just in honor of Halloween week and the festivities therein. So I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. I want to start you guys off basically just outside the main adventure location, and I'll do a little intro after you guys intro your characters. I'll do a little intro just to kind of lead you up to what got you to this point. So we will go from my right to left. We will start with Philip Posey.
Hi, my name is Philip Posey, and today I'll be playing the character known as Sword Ortega. He's a Spaniard, a fighter.
Excellent, very good. Lloyd.
Yep, hello, I'm Lloyd. I run the channel YaldM, and I'll be playing Brother Elijah Malleus, who is a cleric and a Inquisitor, Witch Hunter type character.
Excellent. Troy.
Hey guys, my name is Troy. Today I'm going to be playing a character named Dilat Belgaroth, and he's a magic user. He had a near-death experience, and while in the Shadow Realm, he learned to manipulate shadows and spirits, and today he uses them, wields them in the form of magic.
Excellent. Dennis.
Hello, I'm Dennis. Today I'm playing Marius Valeru. He's a bit of a character. Some might say a con man. He's pretty much whatever you need him to be, and that's how he survives, selling his skills and using his wits.
Excellent. Romanian, I'd say, yeah, based on that name?
Yes, yep.
Cool. And Caius.
Hello, my name's Caius, and today I'll be playing Maguire, a little weedy Scotsman full of doom and gloom.
Excellent. He should fit the source material quite well. Okay, so just to give you a little story of what has led you to this point. You were enjoying a little bit of rest and relaxation after your last adventure. You're all now basically professional adventurers, treasure hunters, etc., monster killers, everything else. Nice peaceful village at the base of a mountain, a nice lovely scenic mountain known as Mount Deathfrost or Deathfrost Mountain. You were enjoying a nice cozy stay in the inn with the very friendly and welcoming townsfolk, very simple people for the most part, very godly people for the most part, very hospitable. While there, you heard legends, stories about an ancient cult that existed and used to perform horrible sacrifices and things at the top of this mountain. And you heard stories of, treasures being left behind in the aftermath after the cult had been eradicated, etc. Cult's been gone for generations now. Of course, these tales of treasure and potentially artifacts, magic, who knows what all could be found up there, would have piqued your adventure interest. And so you decided to gather whatever supplies you may need and to climb the mountain to seek out the old residence where this cult had existed, where they had operated. About halfway up the mountain, the first day of climbing, 8 hours worth of climbing, just continuously snow blowing and getting heavier and thicker, still below the tree line, but you came across a kind of basically a tent-like shack made of like animal skins and poles and such, and you found a crazed old kind of taxidermist type, just a bit of a recluse living there by the name of Ezekiel, in fact, Ezekiel Doncaster. He offered to let you stay with him for the night to shelter from the snow. You noticed his place, there was all of these wood carvings like gravestones, grave markers, with animal skin stretched across them and names painted on them and things of that sort. And he explained to you that he was making these grave markers for the slain people that were killed by the cult. He said, "When I was young, evil lived on this mountain. It was destroyed, but not before it had taken thousands of innocents, piled in mass graves, no proper rites or markers, lost to the gods and human memory alike. No one cared. The evil was gone, and that was all that mattered to anyone. But I remembered the faces. They were real men, real women. They killed children, too. They did things, and they had names. I'll put every name I can find on a stone. I used to make cairns and statues, but there were too many dead, and there still are. The bad men had a list of names in their old meeting place at the top of the mountain. I copy 100 at a time. I'll never finish, I'm too old, and probably the only one left who remembers. So many, so many." After a while, and maybe letting slip or mentioning to him that you were planning to go up and to visit this cabin, as it were, at the top of the mountain, Zeke would have panicked a bit, and he would have told you, "There's a curse laid on everything in that place. Cursed, you hear me? Cursed." And he wouldn't allow you. He insisted that the next day when you woke up, you'd have to leave his place and head back down the mountain. He refused to allow you to climb the mountain. Thinking nothing of it and sleeping the night, and then the next day, preparing yourselves to head up, he would have tried to physically restrain you. Of course, the five of you were quite capable of easily overpowering him. You wouldn't even have to do him any serious harm. He would not be able to stop you. Till then, he'd say to you, "Oh, you go there for the treasures. No doubt they had trinkets and jewels, but are they worth your soul? You're doomed. You're all doomed," he howled as you began to climb the mountain.
We were all destined to die once we were born, old man.
Indeed. And thus, after another 8 hours of climbing, on the second day climbing the mountain, you've arrived at the graveyard. Graveyard is composed of hundreds of gravestones, a dozen or so mausoleums, and a few statues, agonizingly hewn by the strange hand of Zeke Doncaster, the mad taxidermist. Over the last 50 years, he's been working on this. So, before you see the cemetery, the graveyard, which I've just described. The sun is definitely in decline. You're well above the tree line at this stage. However, there are still some old dead trees here around the graveyard. You may have seen the imagery that I posted in the group photo when I set this up on the one-shot group. So that was a picture of basically the graveyard looking up at the peak of the mountain, and you can see the cabin at the top. You can also see from your vantage point, there's a very large tree on the right side, just on this, just before the graveyard. Massive old dead, I believe it's an oak tree. I'll double check to be sure of that. But yeah, it's a massive old oak tree, the largest and worst of all the dead trees on the peak. And hanging from it, there is a rope with a broken knot on the end. Looks like it was an old hanging tree. Then the graveyard sprawls out before you. There is a path which leads through the graveyard up to the cabin, beside which there is also a well. Welcome to the peak.
You see Delat, he starts yelling to what looks to be this little Filipino boy that's walking by inside. And he says, dry nose, fetch my things." And the little Filipino boy, no older than 14, starts scurrying through the bag that he had dragged up this peak, this huge mountain, pulls out these pieces of parchment, hands them to Delat, and he quickly grabs them and starts going. And what it looks like he's doing is he's cross-referencing the names on these pieces of parchment to the names that are on these graves. He's like, yes, this is the place. We'll find it here. And he's doing that for several minutes. He's going from graveyard to graveyard and taking tally of who had been buried there.
Okay.
Ortega starts walking to the snow, his black boots crunching, long steam flowing from his nostrils. He sees this huge oak tree. this rope dangling back and forth like a dead child. He wonders how many people have been killed up by this tree. And that's where he's going to approach.
Roll a wisdom check for me, Philip. You do that by rolling d20. You want to roll equal to or below your wisdom score.
Okay. I rolled a 6. My wisdom is 11.
Okay. You're not sure what it is, but the tree reminds you less of a tree and more of a sculpture of a tree carved by a character with a deep and abiding hatred of all trees, and probably himself and everything else as well.
So I feel like the tree is menacing and evil?
You do. You get it. You can't explain it because it's just a tree, but you feel hatred flowing from this tree.
So I look at this graveyard, and it's all spread around me, perhaps 100 stones, maybe more.
Oh, many more.
And I look at this tree. Out of my on my side, I have a iron spike, and I'm going to carve "Rest in Peace" in the tree bark.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing as he begins to carve into the tree bark?
I'm looking at these gravestones and I'm trying to, like, what state are they in? Are they all just wooden markers left by this Ezekiel?
Well, they used to be wooden markers, but they've turned to stone. They've been petrified by the cold. It's freezing cold yesterday, and I assume you guys are all wearing heavy gear. And you brought your horse up here as well, didn't you, Marius?
Yes, as long as he could have made the trip, yep.
Yeah, he will not enter the graveyard.
Okay.
So yeah, these grave markers, which were carved by Zeke, are made of wood, but they have, definitely petrified to stone.
And
even the tree is partially petrified itself, and you can see the Spaniard's having a hard time carving into the bark, although he's making way. It's just slower than it normally would be.
The tree's petrified?
Partially, yeah. From the frost, it's been up on this frozen mountaintop for ages, and it's dead. Perhaps when it still lived, it may have resisted the petrification for a long period of time. But, yeah.
Are there names or anything on the markers, or is it just literally like a wooden turned to stone cross?
Oh no, yeah, they all have different names on them.
And dates?
No dates. If you remember, Zeke told you he would come up. He said that the bad people had kept a list of the names of their victims in their old meeting place, and he would come up and copy the names down and then make markers for those people 100 at a time.
Okay. Then I'll just walk to a grave that looks like I'd like to find a name that looks Catholic and holy.
Let me see here.
Keep an eye out for anything that looks vaguely Latin, or...
Delat would be doing the exact opposite. I'm going to be looking for flagstones or symbols for what would be, pagan mythology and not Christianity.
Mm-hmm. You don't really find any such names, Troy, but the name's actually like a name that stands out to you. One of the most recent ones, right on the edge of the graveyard. Malleus?
Malleus, yeah.
Malleus, sorry. Malleus and Marius, okay. You see one, obviously very recently put up here. It says Marybelle Walker.
Okay. Well, I will go to that, and in lieu of blessing all of them, I will just bless this grave with my spell. So I will take a little bit of holy water, sprinkle it on there, and mutter a prayer and bless the grave. There's a sense of wrongness about this place, and I think maybe some divine energy here would be good.
There is, and you all now just realize you're picking up a sound, almost suboral. There's a sound on the wind. It's kind of musical in tone, but like it's got a hint of nail on chalkboard at the same time. It's just kind of a repeating tune.
I stop what I'm doing. I take the iron spike, I put it in my pocket. I hold the hammer in my hand.
Well, just to point out something to you before you say anything else, you notice from where you have chipped into the tree, blood is pouring out of the tree.
Excuse me?
I just thought I should tell you that before you continue. The tree is bleeding.
So as I'm carving like a cross in this tree, and like right from where I carved the head, it's like the blood of Christ pouring down.
Yeah, it does. It looks like
I
human blood.
I make the sign of the cross. The Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I turn around and I start pointing frantically at the tree, and I say, "It's bleeding. The stone tree. This you petrified tree.
We're
It's
doomed.
bleeding."
We're doomed. We're not
And
gonna get out of it this time. We've been lucky before, but I feel we're gonna get it this time.
Enough of this talk.
And I see the blood drip on the snow.
Hmm.
And this blood's like, is it kind of black, or is it red?
Yeah, it's a very deep red. It's like I said, it looks exactly like human blood.
So as I'm looking at some of the knots in this tree, it almost looks like the knots where the bark is. It kind of looks like human faces, like it's contorted with just evil. And I start to take step backs from the tree, and as I take step backs, it's like that suboral sound starts to get louder.
So correlating what I would assume to be a miracle, I bless a grave and the tree starts to have stigmata. Obviously what's happened, so I will step back and I will say, man, God is with us. It's a sign. I bless the grave and the tree bleeds. We're on a holy mission. This is a good sign. Take heart.
Sorry, I should have muted myself before I did that.
While this is going on, Marius is back with his horse, trying to calm it. Once he realizes it will go no further, he'll look for a place to tether it as he slips his pack and his bow off.
You could attempt to tether it to the tree.
The tree that's bleeding?
Yes. Or you could attempt to tether it to one of the
probably
gravestones.
I'm sorry, do we hear any birds or animals or?
No, there are no birds, no animals, no insects, nothing.
So as I take another step away from this tree, I see no nest, I see no birds, I see nothing in the sky. It's just like a blank white, terrible frost all in my hair as I shake it off. I start to tremble.
And you're bumped into by this small Scottish guy who's been totally convinced by the words of Malleus, and he approaches the tree on his knees and takes the blood and draws a sign of the cross on himself, saying, "Holy Mother of Father of..." He doesn't really know what he's doing because he's not a Catholic, but he's doing his best. "Holy Mother of Father of spirits and ghosts, Nostrum, Padre Nostrum," he says, and does all sorts of, makes a sign of a cross and a pentacle and a star on himself.
It's what we call a fair weather Christian, huh?
Right. I will walk over to him. I will show him how it's done. And I will say, "In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti." Now you say it.
"In nomine Palliae Filius Sancti," he says, and does his best. No.
So Malleus will simply grit his teeth behind his mask and walk away.
So Marius, another alternative you could try to do with your horse is if you have a spike, you can drive into the ground and try to tether the horse that way.
Yeah, I have some iron spikes, so that's what I'll do. I won't want to try to get him too close to the gravestones, and definitely not the tree.
Fair enough.
Despite
Yeah.
the beautiful words of Brother Malleus, I have no inclination to get closer to the tree myself.
I understand. Okay.
So yeah, I'll take out one of the iron spikes from the saddlebags and try to drive it in the ground.
Yeah, you can do so. It's like ice, but I'm sure you have a hammer or something.
Would I be able to use a crowbar? Grab a crowbar.
Sure can. You sure can. Okay. Anything else, gentlemen?
Well, once I'm doing that, like I said, I'm not going to really get near the tree, but I'll enter the cemetery, just kind of scanning through things, looking for any signs of recent activity or anything that would give any clues as to the sound that I've picked up.
The whispering, is it clearly wrong? Does it sound nasty? Or, I mean, could someone in the throes of euphoria mistake it for something holy? That's what I'm thinking Brother Malleus is doing. He built a tree and then Stigmata appeared. Now he hears voices.
It sounds musical. It's not so much voices.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's
Can,
more
can
like
we tell where the music's emanating from?
Well, as you start to search around, you notice walking around, you can walk around amongst the gravestones, searching for the source of sound.
Yeah. Yep.
Eventually, you will find a shaft, basically, in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It does take you quite a while because the sound seems to be emanating from the earth itself. And when you go to where the sound seems to get louder, you find this grate obscured by snow and ice over a large shaft. The sound becomes much louder as you begin to clear the snow away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Marius feels a slight shiver as he knows that people tend to hide their valuables underground, especially those of the dead, as he kind of crouches down, trying to peer down into the shaft.
My hands feel almost frozen. My chainmail feels like ice as I've been digging away this snow. They just ache. They almost feel arthritic. The tip of my nose is red, and snot's like starting to come out like a icicle.
Is anyone else wearing metal armor?
I am.
And as I'm over there, is there anything on top of this shaft, or is it just like a hole?
No, there's a grate. There's a metal grate, and it's like covered in ice as well.
Does it look like it's locked down, or is it something that can be slid off?
It looks like it's built into the earth, into the rock and ice, as far as you can tell. In fact, go ahead and give me a wisdom roll.
Oh, sure.
Looking it over, does there appear to be any kind of latch or mechanism for opening it?
No, there's definitely no latch or mechanism.
I saw you with that crowbar, right?
Yeah, I still have it.
Okay.
And I'm kind of tapping on the grate with it as I'm pondering if...
I look over at Marius out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, you're thinking what I'm thinking. Oh, I rolled 9.
Those of you who are wearing metal armor, you're going to take -2s to any physical actions until you warm up, just from the sheer cold and like kind of, it's like a frost type exhaustion almost.
Okay.
My bear cloak isn't going to do anything?
It's not going to affect your wisdom roll, however, so it's not a physical action.
All right, so I got a 9.
Okay, so you made it again. So looking at this and checking it out, it seems almost unnatural. It doesn't look like any kind of natural construction, the way this grate is built into the rock and ice and earth. You get a sense of heresy and magic.
O all him mother who did spare the word, holiest of all holies. I take a step back. I pull out a small knife. Like I'm preparing myself and looking around. Maybe a holy man should check this out. I feel something deep within my chest stir.
And Marius, as you're examining it too, you're looking kind of down into the shaft. About 10 feet down, it looks like the shaft is choked with some kind of strange, viscid, semi-transparent substance. Kind of like a liquid, but it's really, really thick, like blood or oil or something like that.
Do I have any guesstimate as to how far down it is?
Yeah, it looks like it's about 10 feet down where you see this substance.
Definitely not the weather for a swim, I'm afraid.
I step by Marius and I say, "This place is unholy. Who would bury their treasures out in the cold here?"
You hear footsteps from behind, and you see what appears to be the injured Delat with a limp in his leg walk towards you. He says, "At ease, Spaniard. We are where we're meant to be. I have a premonition about this place."
You'll see Sword take his hands and put them underneath his armpits, trying to warm up, shivering.
There's a sneer from Malleus as this occultist, this wizard, this witch starts to spout this nonsense. You have no idea what you're talking about. This is a place of evil. I've been misled.
You are a fool.
So Malleus is about to snap a retort and draw a pistol, but he thinks back to the last time he acted that way and the fire in the church that consumed him, and he saw hell waiting for him, and he understood that he had to maintain control. He takes a deep breath. I would not speak so, warlock.
So Sword takes a look at Malleus. What does he look like?
He's tall. He's probably like a little over 6 foot, and he wears. He's got chainmail on over his clothes. His clothes are all very simple, very practical sort of clothes. But he's wearing a mask over his face. Kind of simple, but it is silver. Mask over his face, just like kind of an expressionless face.
The picture like you have in your lower third, your overlay?
Yeah.
Without the mouth sewn shut, I presume?
Yeah.
So he kind of looks like Destro.
Yeah.
Okay. I see myself reflected in your face. I take another step back.
Yeah, everything is covered in a thin layer of ice as well. Your chainmail, your mask, even, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Your clothes are all frosty.
I run my fingers through my hair. Some of it breaks off like ice and it falls down on the snow.
It's getting colder by the minute now as the sun is going lower and lower in the sky.
You said that there was a shack, wasn't there?
There's a cabin.
Up above.
Does the cabin look like it could be warmer?
Oh, it definitely would be. It'd be at least sheltered from the wind. The windows don't look broken or anything.
Well, I look at these men that are around this grate. This thing seems unholy. It seems like it's locked in the ground, and I'm freezing to death. I'm going to go inside and try to get warm.
Yes, let's get a fire going and then think about this. Malleus is very used to discomfort. I mean, he's covered in burns, and even before that, he used to wear like a hair shirt and things like that to make himself be uncomfortable. So he's used to discomfort, but he's also aware that this coldness is not just discomfort; it's dangerous. So he's willing to go and warm up.
Definitely is.
Delat being a frail man, he's wearing like a leather long jacket, which is has inseam of some kind of fur. But being so slender, he's definitely, you can see the frigidness upon him, and being from a southern climate, even more so. But he's inclined to inspect this a little further. He's trying to determine from his studies at this place and his preparation of coming to this place in search of the Book of Shadows that he's trying to seek, if this is indeed the place that he's looking for. If this is this an exit, or if it's an entrance point, or as it seems some kind of a tomb or something.
The grate itself?
Yeah, and what is the purpose of said grate? Is it to hold something in or to keep people out?
Well, actually, you get the feeling that it's probably, at least originally, purposed for ventilation.
Ventilation? Okay.
There must be something underground here.
And we can feel the exhaust, whether it be warm or cool? Can we feel a breeze coming from it? That would
You
further
can't
my-
because, like I said, 10 feet in, you see that liquid, so it seems
Right.
to be plugged
Some
up
kind
with
of-
something.
Some kind of membrane. All right, so you see me suddenly spin on my heel, and I grab the little Filipino boy that's on my side, and I'm kind of like using him as a crutch. And he's like, "Come, come," and he's helping me get up to the cabin. As you see me limp on my right leg.
Yeah, ever loyal, he will help you towards the cabin where your comrades have already headed in that direction. So the cabin itself is also petrified from the cold.
Like the tree.
Like the tree, yep. Like all
What
things
the
wood.
fuck?
Everything wood up here is
Wow.
petrified. The petrified cabin is shabby and bizarre. The roof seems to sag beneath the weight of snow and dead centuries, and the walls are scrawled with neurotically minute calligraphic writing in a bleak and ancient language. By the way, can I ask real quick? Actually, I should be keeping some notes here. Hang on a second. Where'd my paper go? Oh, I did have it here. Oh, there it is. What are your alignments? Starting with Doomy McGuire. What's your alignment, Doomy?
You muted, guys.
Neutral.
Neutral. Marius.
Neutral.
Also neutral. Delat.
Chaotic.
Malleus.
Lawful.
And Sword.
Lawful.
Excellent. Well, we got the whole spectrum here. Okay. Very good to know. So you can see the cabin anyway. There is like a little bit of a few steps leading up onto kind of like a little balcony, I guess, or not balcony, but more like just like a porch that's at the front of the cabin there, near the front door.
I put my knife away. I walk up to the front of the door. Does it look like it's locked?
Looking at it, you don't see a lock actually.
I put my fingers on the door. They're freezing cold.
Yeah,
And I give it a push.
Okay. The door falls loudly forward into the cabin's main room.
I jump back.
Hold on a second here. Okay. Yeah, boom! As it hits the floor in the main room.
I scream out, "Ah!"
Silence, brother.
Do you have
Compose yourself.
do you have any backup characters, Philip?
No, really?
Nope.
No, I'm just asking. So yeah, it falls into the main room. If you peer into the main room, you can see 3 chairs, one behind a desk, 2 in the northeast corner. There is a great book as thick as a human torso lying on a simple desk.
Oh, it's a huge book.
Wow.
There is a stag's head mounted above a fireplace.
Ooh,
Is
fireplace.
empty. There is a mirror in the corner of the room, which you'd have to go into the room to examine it closer, but you can tell by the shape of it and a little bit of light glinting off that it's a glass object, probably a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
There is a trap door in the floor, chained with a large padlock. And there's a cabinet-sized water clock, carved in a vaguely cathedral-like shape against the wall.
I pull out my sword. It's 3 feet long and shimmers like steel. And I turn to Malleus. If you want, I will look inside and clear it for danger. And I take a step in.
It's brave of you.
Okay.
As Delat approaches and he looks inside the gaping hole that was created from the door falling inside, if he's able to see that book that's upon the table,
Oh yeah, you can see it.
you see him quickly turn over his left shoulder, looking at Dry Nose, the little Filipino boy. He's like, "Guard the door, boy. I think what we found, what we came to find." And he starts to move inside, even pushing past the
So
Spaniard.
you told her to guard the what?
Just 1 second.
Guard the
I
door.
just want to check this. I just want to do a fast sweep to see if there's any people in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. So I'm just telling the little retainer to stay outside and keep watch, basically.
Okay.
Go stand in the cold, you little fucker.
Poor bastard. Yeah, Philip, roll a saving throw versus horrible, crushing doom and death.
All right.
No,
There we go.
there is no such saving throw. There are no people in the room. You see.
All right. So
However, when you look at the mirror, as you come into the room, and you can actually, your eyes adjust to the light of the room itself, you can see yourself reflected in the mirror. You see Malleus at the doorway behind you.
mm-hmm.
You do not see Delot, although he should be there. Beside Malleus, but he is not reflected in the mirror.
I make a mental note of it as I just if there's a hallway or another door entrance, I just want to like take a quick look see.
There is a door at the south wall. You guys are coming in from the east, just for direction. And to your left, the south wall, there is a door.
Yeah, I want to open it real quick and take a look inside.
Yeah, I'll say you can go up and open that just as Delat will walk into the room. So you open that and look into. This would be the kitchen and pantry area.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a door immediately on your left, which would be to the east again. And then along that same wall down at the south end of this room, there's a little hall, and there's another door there on the left. There's a door straight across from you at the south wall, and then immediately on the right, on the right at the end of that little hall as well. So basically you've got the kitchen and pantry room that you're in, a little door on your left, and then straight ahead across the kitchen and pantry there's a small hall with doors on either side and one at the very end.
Yeah, I would make my way towards that hallway, and I would open every door on my way there just to look.
Okay.
But that'll probably take some time.
So before you open the first door, we'll go back to Delat, who was the next one to walk into the cabin, I believe. Delat.
Sure.
As you step into the cabin, after telling the boy to stay outside, and as Sward has gone through the door to the south, you also see the mirror, and you do not see your reflection in the mirror. You can see Malleus behind you at the doorway. Possibly, I don't know if Doomy and Marius are also kind of milling around the door area, but you do not see yourself.
Ah, the shadows play tricks on me. This is my kind of place.
Again, like I said, you see the chairs. There are three of them that are facing the door. One behind the desk at the south wall, which means that the chair is actually facing away from the desk, and two in the northeast corner. You see the great book lying on the desk. Looking at it now, it looks to be bound with some kind of skin.
Oh, even better.
There is a trophy and fireplace on the north wall with the stag's head mounted above it.
Would I notice him not being in the mirror?
You will when you walk into the room.
Sure.
You see the trapdoor kind of in the middle, the floor in the middle of the room, and then there's that cabinet-sized water tower clock, and it's displaying the incorrect time.
Which is not. This fucking place is carbonized from being here for so long in the winter. I can't imagine the clock is still going to work. I'm not too shocked by that. But as Delat takes his first steps into the room, he immediately goes back to that moment 20 years prior when he came out of a coma. He had been in a coma for a month, but in reality, in his mind, he had been living in the shadow realm, the Umbra, for upwards of 20 years, where he mastered the ability to manipulate shadows and spirits. So as he woke from the coma, took that initial deep breath, at that moment he had this premonition about regaining the power that he had in this underworld. And in order to do so, he would have to claim the Book of Shadow, the famed Wiccan artifact. For 20 years he's been on a mission to retrieve or to acquire this ancient tome. He thinks now, as he's taken the steps towards this book, this great skin-covered book in the middle of the room, that this 20-year journey he's on might have finally come to fruition as he takes his limped leg steps towards the book.
Okay.
With excitement. You can see his eyes they're not even a natural color. As his body temperature rises and the excitement grows, his pupils turn red in an unnatural glow.
Right. The book, as I said, it does seem to be bound in flesh. The fittings on it are tarnished brass. It's written in an ancient language. Do you have a language skill? Probably not. You're not a specialist. Do you have a spell to comprehend languages or anything?
I can read magic. I do not have comprehend languages or tongues or whatever its relevant thing is in this game. Identify and read magic would be the only thing that would be relevant that I have. And the fact out of character, or in character rather, my character was a professor at the University of Belgrade, where he was a specialist in pre-Ottoman occults.
Okay. No, you can't read the cover anyway. Do you want to try to cast a spell or anything, or open the book, or?
Yeah, I'm just going to run my fingers across the books initially, just to see if there's any obvious, triggers or anything, any sensation, any feeling, touch, audible cues, anything as I just caress it.
It's definitely flesh, quite possibly human flesh.
Oh, this is exciting. Very exciting to me. So I open it up and I can't read the language.
When you open it up,
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning of the book, yeah, you can't read the languages. There's just a listing of things written that you can't really read. Like a lot of stuff, it's in a language you don't read. But if you flip through the book, eventually you'll find some are in like a cuneiform, some are in pictographs, and then in the back quarter of the book, the names, it's actually a list of names in common tongue. And the last few hundred names there have red fingerprints next to them.
So does this correlate with the story of the guy that we had met halfway up the mountain, of this list of names that he had been acquiring? So this is that list? This is the book that he was making? Or this is a duplicate?
It's and just looking at it and thinking, okay, well, how many different names are there? Let's see how many names are in it. Yeah, there's millions of names in this book.
You see Delot start to swear in a language not of this local area, or Spanish or Romanian.
From your studies and your teaching, what you know from your background, like looking at some of the cuneiform kind of letters, some of those date back millennia.
The book has value. It's not what I'm looking for, but surely it has value. There's power in names. And I'm going to attempt to close it up.
Yeah, no problem. It closes. It doesn't try to
Right.
let your hand off or anything. I'm going to, while you're doing that, I'll go to anybody else wants to come into while he's looking at this book, and while Philip is ready to open the next door.
Yeah, I'll walk in, kind of taking note of what's around. Immediately abhorred by the book. Nasty stuff, and Malleus is not happy with it. If I was to notice Delot not having a reflection,
You'll catch that as you're looking around.
as he's kind of poring over the book, I'll just take out a little sprinkle of holy water and flick it at him.
Okay.
To see what happens, if anything. Because I assume if he doesn't have a shadow, then he's a vampire.
Okay, you're getting sprinkled with water from the.
As I'm looking at the book, you see me look up, and my eyes are red at this point, because I'm still in this ecstasy, this excitement, and I hiss at you, and this crazy thing. But my skin doesn't start bubbling, and it'll start sizzling and everything. It's like, what are you doing? You
Leap
might
back and
damage the book.
pull out a silver cross and hold it in front of me.
You're mad. Back away from me.
You don't have a reflection. What are you?
I am many things, And as I step back now, you hear me start chanting this arcane language, and I fucking reach down to my feet to the shadows that are cast at the floor, and I kind of like pull the shadows up over my body as if I was pulling up one of those old school hide behind, change your clothes things. And as my arms get to the top of my head, as I go up from the bottom up, my body starts to disappear, and I turn invisible.
You cast invisibility?
I
Okay.
cast invisibility to further spook you out.
I pull out a gun and I shoot the book.
I don't know if the book would have went invisible with me if it was in my hands.
Well, I think it was on the table.
What in the hell just happened?
What the fuck?
Boom!
It's a
Gun
demon! So I pull out the gun and I shoot the book. Right in the
Bam.
middle if I can.
Yeah, you blow it right off the table. It flies up against the wall and hits the ground. Pages
Does the
fly
gun work?
everywhere. Oh yeah, actually, sorry. Roll a d10, please, Lloyd.
I don't have... Oh, I can do dice stream.
You don't have a d10?
Not handy. A 9.
Yeah, it works.
Okay.
Boom! The gun goes off. Pages fly everywhere.
And you hear from the far corner, like, 4 steps from where I was standing, you hear this fucking curse at you. It's like, you idiot, what are you doing?
You won't get your demony hands on this book.
And then moments later, you see this fucking book, like, levitating in the air above you, and then start moving over towards the door. I'm walking with it invisible, of course.
When you pick it up, the book will go invisible as well.
Okay, so the book all of a sudden starts to levitate and then disappears.
Doomy and Marius.
No.
Sorry, I'll just work on trying to get a fire going. That's my next step, right? So just anything in the room that doesn't seem to be tied down or made of stone, I'll put in the fireplace, start to light a fire.
You start breaking up the desk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Outside, as a sort of sudden moment of inspiration, the small Scottish man rummages under his tartan blanket and pulls out a hammer and a spike, similar to the one that the Spaniard was using, and drives the spike into the step to see if the steps bleed as well.
They do not.
Okay, then.
That was
Then
a good
quite
idea.
happily, he goes into the house, and well, as the gunshot goes off, he goes and dives under the porch. But when he hears them just arguing amongst themselves again, then he goes back into the house, sits down on one of the chairs, and starts drying off, basically checking the gunpowder in his pistols and changing it for dry gunpowder.
Yeah, it's probably par for the course at this point. The Inquisitor and the Sorcerer are always going at it. They're always on opposite ends of the spectrum, always arguing.
So ignoring them, I'm just trying to get some dry gunpowder into my pistols.
Okay. And what about Marius?
He is standing in a doorway, leaning against with a shoulder. He's dressed in leathers and a heavy furred coat. His hands wrapped except for his fingers. As the chaos is going on the inside, he'll briefly lift off his hat, run his hand through his hair, and put it back as his gaze moves over the room now that he can get a view of it. And it drops down to that trap door, spying the lock. His fingers twitch unconsciously, but for the moment he just stays in the doorway, watching and waiting to see what may happen to those that are within.
Sure. The Inquisitor's breaking up the desk and throwing pieces into the fireplace. You all now start to hear harpsichord music.
What?
Harpsichord music. It seems to be coming from one of the rooms at the end of the hall ahead of you, Philip.
Oh,
Do you want to open that first door on your left first anyway, or do you want to go straight to the door where you hear the harpsichord music coming from?
So I step into the room. I step into where the doorknob is, and I'm like, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me. And I put my hand on the knob. A sinner. Bang! Goes the gun. Ah! I open it.
This is the one the music's coming from, right? The harpsichord music? And so yeah, you hear the harpsichord music playing. You also, though, still hear that faint sound of music that you heard before coming from the grate. You can still hear it on the on the air, on the wind as it kind of gathers around you and everything. So when you open that room, that door, you see a chair, a bench, and a harpsichord, and a 6-foot wide, 4-foot tall painting on the wall. The harpsichord is not playing, but you can hear the music playing until the moment you lay eyes on it. And as soon as you lay eyes on it, the music stops. The rest of you guys, you still hear the harpsichord playing.
I take my sword and I have it out in front of me like a blind man has a cane, and I'm moving it back and forth through the room. I approach
visible spirits with it.
Yeah, exactly. And so in this room, there's a chair, a harpsichord, and a. Did you say a
And a
painting?
painting. Yep. It's what did I say? It was a 6-foot wide, 4-foot tall painting on the wall.
Oh, this is a huge painting.
What'd you
What's
say?
in the painting?
Ah, the painting. Okay. You see all 5 of your party members standing before an altar with a tall gray skeleton looming above it with an open door leading into a dark tunnel behind it. It's a crisp but medieval style, perhaps a forerunner of Rogier van der Weyden. In the painting...
Did you say I was in the painting?
Yes. In the painting, like I said, you see the 5 of you standing before the altar with the skeleton behind it looming over it. In the painting, your character, Sward, is sipping from a goblet as light shines down on him from above. You also see the Inquisitor holding a handful of fist-sized glass spheres filled with clear liquid.
I'm drinking from a goblet. He's holding spheres.
Mm-hmm.
How old does this painting appear to be?
Well, like I said, it's definitely a crisp medieval style.
Is it? I put my hand on it. It's dry.
Yes.
Holy shit.
It's very, very old.
I would like to. Can I take this painting off the wall?
Sure, you can.
Oh, awesome. Is it heavy or is it?
Is it heavy? I think. Let me see here. It's got a description here about the weight of it. Right. It weighs about 20 pounds within the frame. Yeah, it's extremely old. Very good craftsmanship. Do you have knowledge of art or your character?
No, but
Okay. It looks valuable anyway to you.
You can obviously recognize himself. Was the rest of us doing anything of importance in the painting? Besides these 2 that are doing awesome stuff.
You're all standing before that altar. He was drinking from a goblet with the light shining down on him, and the Inquisitor was holding the glass spheres
Yeah.
with some kind of liquid in them. But the rest of you are just standing there as the skeleton looms over the altar, and there's the black tunnel behind it.
when I get the painting down, I will say, Marius, McDwyer, Delot, Elijah, come.
I'll start moving.
So you have Malleus, but yeah, you've got some wood piled in there, and you hear him calling all of you to. So you're all going to go down and look?
Is the fire going yet at this point?
No.
Not yet, no.
Okay. I'm still invisible, so I'm going to follow suit, but further back to the point where no one realizes I'm there.
Okay.
If it's only moments that's passed.
That's fine. Yeah, it's only like a minute or 2. Also, Sward, as you went and picked up the painting, I forgot to mention to you, but you do hear the harpsichord music resume playing again. If you look over back at the harpsichord, it stops. Whenever you look away from the harpsichord, you hear it playing. And the same goes for all of you. As you walk into the room or look into the room, when you look at the harpsichord, the music stops playing to you.
So
Whenever
I'm
you're
standing.
not looking at it, you can hear it.
I'm standing behind the painting, and I'm holding it, and I kind of have my hands out to one side of the painting, and my other hand out to the other side. Exactly. And I look down at the painting, and I look at them, and I say, when I look at you, I hear the harpsichord. I turn my head, and the music stops. Behold, here we are in this painting. What does this mean?
And you show it to them.
Yes, I show it to them. Here I am turning around this giant painting.
You guys all
The
see
big
the
reveal.
painting exactly as I described.
Marius is not going to immediately follow everyone. He's going to stop to
Okay.
inspect that trapdoor in the lock once everybody else is left.
Fair enough. So Marius doesn't go in. That's fair. So you still hear the harpsichord music playing, Marius. What are you going to do with the? You going to try to open the lock?
Yeah, if it looks like it can be opened.
Yeah, sure. You have you're a specialist. You have an open lock skill or something along those lines. Open doors.
Yeah.
No, it's not open doors.
Yep.
It'd be
It's I think it falls under the search, or is it
skill.
Is it Tinker?
Tinkering. Yep, tinkering is opening locks.
Okay. So it's a D20 plus the skill.
No, you roll a d6.
Okay, yeah, I got to get under the.
Yeah, equal to or under the number of pips you have in the skill.
I'm gonna give Dice Stream a chance here.
All of my skills are 1.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, well, you're not a specialist. So.
Oh, open doors, I have it 2.
3. You have to get it and under.
Yep.
Okay, so then yeah, I got 3.
Okay, so yep, you pick the lock. Comes right off. You open the trapdoor.
Yep, I'm gonna take a peek.
You can see a deep shaft. It's dark in there. Goes farther than your vision will go, which isn't saying much, but you know, at least maybe 30 feet or something if you have any kind of light source that you hold up. So it's at least 30 feet deep or more. It has handholds but no ladder. And goes straight down.
I'm going to grab a piece of the kindling that Malleus was getting for the fire, and try to light it with my tinderbox, and then throw it down so I can see how far deep it goes, perhaps.
Good idea. It goes about 50 feet deep before it hits the bottom. And when it does, okay, 50 feet down. So the sound now, as you're peering down, seems to get louder, that otherworldly music that you heard from outside. And as you're looking down, you think you see like faces moving along the walls of the shaft and on the floor of the hall that it lands in. That there are faces like carved into the walls or something that seem to writhe and move in the light of the burning kindling.
Well, that would be slightly unnerving.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way can I tell if maybe that's where the sound's coming from? Is these faces that are in the wall? Or
Well,
just
it's
really no
definitely
way to
getting
tell?
louder it seems to be louder down there than it is up here. So
Now, does it appear to be like lead down to a tunnel that goes out of my point of vision, or does it just seem like a pit?
yeah, it does. It seems to go down to some kind of a hall which extends beyond your point of vision. So while you digest that, we'll go back to the room. The other 3 of you have arrived to see the painting. And you also notice the harpsichord that when you look at it, you can no longer hear it playing, but whenever you look away from it, the harpsichord music resumes in your hearing.
Am I the only one that this is happening to? Do you hear the harpsichord as well?
I can hear it.
I put my head down, I shake it, thank God I'm not crazy.
Stand fast, brother.
As he holds a painting which has all of you in it.
Yeah. And
A painting that's
you
at
said
least
this
1,000
painting
years
looks, it looks valuable?
Yeah, it's probably at least 1,000 years old.
I say to them, is this... Oh, hold on, I have notes here. Do you think this is one of the treasures of the cult?
Could be. I would say we roll it up and we take it with us.
I pull out a long, thin knife. Is it like small nails in the back to the wood? Is that how it's attached?
Something like that. It's on a stretcher, you know, like.
Yeah, I'll take the knife and I will just slightly above where those nails are. I will cut into it. Very, I'm not gonna do it rough, but I don't want to damage it or anything. But
No problem.
okay, cool. Does it have a frame I need to remove?
Yeah, you have to take it off the stretcher out of the frame and then roll it up with the rug.
Oh yeah, that's what I'll do. And I'll ask any of these guys if they've played music.
Not I.
Delat.
Heresy.
I'm still invisible and holding my tongue. At this
that's
point.
right. Delat's freaking gone.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of hovering. I'm hovering behind the Inquisitor, just like looking over his shoulder, peering in and watching this stuff unfold. But I'm not making any movements or saying anything.
I'll say, maybe there's an apparition playing this harpsichord.
Music is decadence.
I heard Lucifer himself had instruments that came out of his body. It lures those to their doom.
The harpsichord looks like it would make good kindling.
And I start cutting it. When I cut the back, do any of the figures in the frame do anything?
Nope.
It's fucking weird. I keep cutting it and I keep peering over to see if anything's changed.
Nope. Nothing has changed.
Okay.
How big is a harpsichord?
It's like a piano, you know.
Oh wow.
Not like an upright piano, but like a grand piano type size.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, then I guess I'm gonna have to start chopping it up and using it for firewood.
What are you chopping it with?
I have a sword.
Okay.
You
can smash the hell out of it. Yeah, it's mostly wood, and then of course it's a harpsichord. It's got metal strings and
right.
stuff.
It hasn't petrified like everything else, right?
No. Inside the cabin, the wood has not petrified. It's warmer inside the cabin.
Okay, cool. Well, in that case, yeah, I'll basically start like with the pommel of my sword, just trying to smash out some of the nails and stuff, and then rip it apart.
I mean, it's not warm in the cabin, but it's much warmer than outside in the blasting wind. So yeah, you start smashing it up, no problem. As he's smashing up this harpsichord, it's making horrible dissonant sounds as he does so. You guys, whenever you're not looking, and Dennis obviously is not in the room, whenever you're not looking, you still hear the harpsichord music, even after it's completely wrecked and destroyed.
Spooky.
I start to cry from fear.
Delat is backed out of the as they start destroying the frame and the harpsichord. I've backed to the original room and it's closed in on the hourglass, and I'm starting to examine it, manipulate it, just to see if I
clock,
can.
You mean?
The clock, yes, sir.
A water tower clock. Yeah, it's showing 4:40 on the clock, whereas it's not that time at all. It's probably
4:40.
It's probably an hour or two after that at least.
And it looks to be in good repair, even though most of the stuff is dilapidated in here.
Yeah, the clock is in. Let me just see if there's anything specific to say about it. But
I can't say I know much about water clocks, but is there a way to manipulate the time?
Sure. Yeah, you can just turn the hands.
All right, so I'm going to start turning it back to set it to the appropriate time and see if anything happens as I'm doing it.
Forwards or backwards?
So you're saying it's an hour ahead of what it should be, or behind?
No, it's about an hour to 2 hours behind. You don't know the exact time. You don't have a wristwatch or anything.
Right, I'm just going to start turning it, manipulating it to move slowly towards the actual time.
Okay, as you move it forward, how far ahead are you going to move it?
Seconds, minutes. small increments as I move forward.
So you're going to move it a couple minutes forward.
Sure.
And as you do so, well, wait, you're already invisible, yeah?
I was invisible when I started this process, yeah.
Okay. All of a sudden, you're standing, Malleus was over there peering down into the trap door.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you're in the room alone.
Okay. So time has went forward, or that's how I perceive it to be. I saw him over there looking down in the trap door, and now I'm by myself. That's what I've experienced.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm going to move it, a little small increment further ahead again. Actually, no, I'll go backwards. I'll move it back to its original setting now, 440.
Okay, you move it back. And, well, we're going to have to leave it there for the moment.
Sure.
Come back to you in a bit. So what are the rest of you? I guess, Marius, you were looking down this pit while they were smashing up the harpsichord.
I'll take a look in the other rooms if possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just roll
What about
up this
you, Marius?
painting.
How large is the thing going down? Does it look like if I go down, I can avoid coming in contact with the wall that has the faces on it?
Yeah. The place with the handholds, yeah, there's no faces.
Then, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and climb down and see if I can get a gander of where the tunnel goes. Yeah.
Okay, so you're climbing down into the hole. That's always a good idea. Gaius, are you with us, Gaius? Yes, he is. What is Doomy McGuire doing? You're muted, by the way.
McGuire is helping Brother Elijah in his holy work, and he's picking up the firewood, taking it to the fire, and getting himself warm.
Okay, gonna start. You want to start the fire while he's smashing up the harpsichord, maybe?
Yes.
Cool. So you're getting the fire started. And
What are
so
the other
Elijah,
rooms?
the room straight across from the one here at the end of the hall. The one on your left, which is at the south end of the hall, is actually just the back door, leads back out of the cabin.
Okay.
Straight across, though, is another bedroom. Or sorry, a bedroom. You haven't found the first bedroom yet. You see, you're going to open it up and have a look in. There's a bedroom with a bed, an empty footlocker, and a nightstand. On the nightstand, there's a candle and a bag.
What's in the bag?
That's all you see. You look into the bag and you see a purple powder, dark purple powder.
Do I recognize it as anything?
You don't know what it is.
Taste it.
Okay. I'll just dip, take a little tiny bit and I'll take a little taste.
Snort it.
It's kind of bitter.
Huh. Do I think it's a chemical, maybe?
Possibly. Are you following him into the room, Sword? Since you were with him?
Yeah, once I have this painting rolled up, I'll tie it off and I'll attach it to my backpack. And
Okay.
I'll kind of jostle it.
It's pretty big.
And,
it's like you've got like a 6-foot wingspan now with this thing painting. I guess
I would
put it at an angle.
do it vertical, and
Yeah.
I would roll it up the 4-foot way.
Yeah, cool.
So it'll be
Right,
from
that
my
makes more
shoulder
sense.
down to my knee,
Cool. Okay.
and I'll attach it that way, and I won't go directly in the doorway. I'll walk by the side of the wall, around by the rubble,
Is
and
there any-
I'll take my face and I'll just peer in
Mhm.
as I see him picking up this bag by a nightstand.
Tasting
He's starting to
something.
taste it. What? Alex,
Is there-
what are
is
you
there any-
doing?
Is there any effect when I taste it?
You know what? Just for fun, let's say there is.
Oh, crap. I was going to taste some more to see what would happen.
Yeah. Well, you taste some more.
Okay.
And then we're going to have an effect.
Oh,
We'll
jeez.
consider that a ghost. You want to roll D100 for me?
Yes, sir. All right, we're looking at a 71.
Oh.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ, what have I done?
And roll 2D100 for me.
2.
Mhm.
Fucking goddamn it. Dice off the table. Okay, that is a 52 and a 41.
52 plus 41 is 93. It's going to last for 93 minutes. Okay, yeah, you feel kind of strange, but you're not sure why. And now you're thinking this is some kind of a drug.
Oh my. Okay.
I approach towards your back. I put my hand on your shoulder. I spin you around. I notice that you said this powder is purple.
Yeah,
There's
it's dark
there's
purple.
there's like a purple powder on your nose and on your lips. I'm like, what have you done?
Yeah.
I look down at the bag. What have you done? My God! Let's take a step back. Horror on my face because your mask is risen up.
Roll,
Yeah.
roll D20 for me, Lloyd, real quick. And Sword, what's Sword's class? Is he a fighter?
He is a
Or a
fighter.
specialist?
Yes.
He's a fighter.
He's a fighter.
Okay, just one.
As a 10 on the d20.
Okay, no problem. You're not addicted to it yet.
Jesus. So Marius kind of like, he has his mask up and you can see he's got this face, melted face. You know, you can see the muscle and everything in his, where his skin's just been burnt away.
Is this the first time I've seen you like this?
And
Yeah, definitely.
things are starting to get weird for you. You're starting to go into a druggy haze.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, are part of your cheeks burned away where I can see your teeth?
Definitely, yeah. Hmm.
I see him start salivating and like this drool just fall down on the front of his chainmail, and he starts getting woozy, moving backwards and forward.
Yeah, the room is swimming.
Malleus, take it easy, Malleus. I take a step back. Take it easy,
Sounds like-
Malleus.
Sounds like he's talking down a tube or something, or a tunnel, or.
Right, I've got my
Like,
hands raised
he
into
sounds
the air.
far away.
Sky above me, head raised. My lord, I'm coming.
Okay.
I look at this bag. Is it still in his hand?
No, he's dropped it now, and some of the powder is splashed out of it, but there's still most of it in there.
I see some of it's gotten on my boot. Kick it. What have you done? What have you done?
So, Caius, you've got the fire going.
I hear it crackling in the background.
Marius, you've gotten down to the bottom, 50 feet down with the handholds. When you reach down, pick up a piece of kindling, or you do notice as you're looking at the walls, the faces aren't really moving. It's just an effect from the way the light is.
It is. Okay. First, I'm going to just kind of crouch down in the shadows and glance down in the hall, taking some time to.
Beyond you, as far as you can see.
Which I imagine it's dark down there.
It's dark, yeah. You've got about 30 feet of light with the burning kindling there. So it's more than 30 feet long. And you see that these faces are carved into the walls and floor of this tunnel. But they're like they're under like a kind of like an ice cold glass almost. The whole wall and floor. The walls and floor, sorry. In fact, they look like.
I'm going to slide the crowbar of my backpack and kind of tap at the faces, see if there's any kind of reaction.
They don't react. They only just move when the light flickers and stuff. It just seems to make them move and writhe.
And they're just like carved into the surface of the stone. There's no like.
Beneath this like glass polish or whatever it is, yeah.
Do I have an idea of what that substance is? Is it maybe something of value, or I just don't have any idea?
It seems like some kind of glass. You gonna touch it?
Not beyond the crowbar now.
Okay.
So I guess not being able to discern anything further, then I will grab that piece of kindling and chuck it down the tunnel.
As you reach down and pick up the piece of kindling, your bare skin brushes the floor, and suddenly the faces scream in a forgotten language, which you don't understand, and then they stop screaming. You hear that up above, McGuire. You hear screaming coming from down in the open trapdoor. And that's around the same time that Delat, you're going to pop back into this time, but you're still invisible, so nobody sees you. And you hear the scream also come from down the trapdoor. And if you guys are listening too closely enough, you can also hear Sward shouting at the Inquisitor down the hall. So there's all kinds of shouting going on.
So basically, as I kind of crouch down and go to pick it up, and that
just as
scream
your
happens,
skin touched the floor, yeah.
yeah, and so basically I drop it and kind of crouch down and cover my ears, and as the screams of the faces cut out, my scream would be heard echoing up the shaft.
Okay. Very good.
Now, this water clock, is it such that I can move it, take it from its position and take it with me, or is it attached?
Oh, it's pretty big and heavy. It would take a great effort to move it.
Right, so being that I've
Two
experienced...
people probably to carry it because of its awkward shape and
I've
size.
experienced time shifts before, or the fallacy that is time, with my coma experience, and having lived several months in the shadow realm. This water clock and its perceived ability to manipulate time has definitely caught my interest. So I'm actually going to try to back it up to the point where I was opening the book and Brother Malleus was fucking shooting a hole in it. I'm going to see if I can manipulate it, back it up even further to where we are now, and get back in time to that point.
How far back, I'm sorry, in time?
To the point where when I was looking at the book and Brother Malleus thought I was a demon and shot a hole in it, I'm going to try to manipulate the water clock to get back to there.
That's probably a good 10 minutes ago or so. Maybe more, actually. Probably 15 minutes ago at this stage or so. So what happens when you start moving the clock backwards?
So I was 10 minutes ahead. Now I'm back.
As you do that, time around you stops. So you see McGuire kind of looking from the fireplace towards the trapdoor where Marius was screaming. And he just stops moving. Like time stops around you.
So it doesn't rewind beyond my current location and point in time.
Oh, it keeps going back, yeah. That's what I mean. As you move it back beyond your current location in time.
Only
it just stops time around you. You are moving through time, but everything around you is not.
Okay, but I can't get back to a point where I could stop a certain situation from happening. Alright, so I'm just, again, trying to manipulate this, try to find the inner workings, and try to come to an understanding of what its limitations are.
Mm-hmm.
So as I've gotten back in time and realized that it doesn't empower me to change what has already happened, I'm going to start flipping back and going forward again.
You can't. The hands won't move again. You have to wait until the 15 minutes pass.
Oh, okay. I'm going to
try, but it won't move. Unless you want to try and force it.
No, I'm not going to do that. My visibility is worn off at this point as well, so I become visible. And am I now seen to the Scotsman that's sitting there beside the fire?
Am I still visible?
Is this after the 15 minutes pass? Or during?
No, I went back and now I'm stuck. I can't go forward, so I'm stuck back at that time in the past.
Okay, and you become visible. He doesn't seem to notice you.
Okay. I'm going to go sit by him at the fire and wait.
Okay. So you just sit there for 15 minutes until time gets up to right where it was when you distorted it. And then, boom, all of a sudden, McGuire, you're looking down the trapdoor where you hear Marius screaming from below. And all of a sudden, Delat appears sitting beside you in a chair by the fire.
Fucking hell!
You see me. You see me, and I look over my shoulder towards you, and I pull out a tin, and I put it over the open flame to start warming some hot water. Say, don't be alarmed.
At the same time,
Don't be alarmed, he said.
Maguire breathes out heavily and stuffs his pistols back into his belt as he drew his pistols on you instantly, but now realizing that it's just you, he's put his pistols back, and he goes to the edge of the trapdoor where Marius disappears and looks down to see how Marius is doing.
And I'm
How's Marius doing?
busy making a cup of tea.
So, after not finding himself dead or surrounded by evil spirits, he'll take a deep breath and reach into his pack and pull out his little tobacco kit and light up one of his hand-rolled cigarettes, just enjoying it for a moment as he regains his composure.
Back to the bedroom. After about a minute and a half, Malleus comes out of his drug-like stupor.
I realize my mask is off, and I'll put it back on immediately. Oh, sword. I don't know what happened.
Sword standing there, mouth agape, eyes wide as quarters. What? What did you do?
I found a powder and I tasted a very small amount to try and determine its nature, and I saw God.
You saw God?
I did.
Why would you experiment on yourself? Why wouldn't you give it to someone to try?
I am no coward. Suffering is important.
Well, try it again.
I don't know if I could handle it. I don't feel well.
Oh, maybe you should sit down.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
don't
bed
feel
behind
right.
us.
Yeah, there's a bed here.
I said, why don't you sit down on the bed?
Yes.
Put your legs up.
I need a moment.
You sit on the bed?
Yeah.
Okay. You sit
Now
down,
he's just rolling
relax
to wind you up.
a little bit. Yeah, you just feel wrong inside. You're not sure why. You have no idea what's wrong with you, but something just doesn't feel right.
Whatever that is, it's dangerous.
There's a cab. I mean, there's a desk next to the bed, right? Is there a drawer that I can open?
No, it was a nightstand, actually. Sorry.
Oh, does the nightstand have a drawer?
It doesn't, no. It just had the powder and the bag sitting on it.
I pick up the bag that's at my feet. I put it back on the nightstand. I look down at this mask. I can see its fingerprints where it kind of thawed up with warmth. Maybe you should just rest here. And I put down the bag. I look at him really wearily, and I guess I can hear the fire. And there was a scream not too long ago, so I'm actually going to walk that way.
There was another scream then, because McGuire screamed when Delat reappeared.
Yeah, there's a lot of screaming going on over there. I'm going to go check it out. What's going on? Open up the door.
Delat's making tea.
And reading, now visible again, and reading the book that I had taken from the table.
Delat, have you noticed you don't have a reflection?
Hmm? Yes, I noticed there's lots of odd, eerie things going on. Did you notice that the water clock is able to manipulate time? Maybe
I
you should
walk over
stop
to the
being an
mirror.
art collector and find some solutions to our problems we face.
I was like, I'll find a solution. I take out my hammer and I bash the mirror.
Ooh. So walk over and smash the mirror, huh?
Oh.
I look on
Subtle.
with interest.
This is. I've enjoyed
Okay.
this subtle investigation.
You smash the mirror and it shatters and crumbles, broken shards of glass to the floor above by your feet.
Guess what, Spaniard? We can't see you now either.
I look at my hands. You can't see me?
Oh.
So Marius, you.
Here's-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. So,
I was going to say, I moved by the fire and warmed myself up. I look at this trap door that's open. I slap my head.
yeah, the ice is all melted off of your armor while you're standing by the fire, so all the frost has come off. You're wet now, but you know.
I offer you my tin that I've used to warm the water.
Do
with these
I still
herbal
suffer the
tea.
-2 penalty to my
No,
physical rolls?
you won't.
Okay.
No, you've warmed up being inside here, even more so with the fire. So, so Delat offers you the hot tin of water that he's just heated up. Marius, you've kind of regained. You're enjoying your cigarette. You want to look further down the hall now, or are you going to wait for backup? Or
Yeah, while he's partaking of his cigarette, he's going to whisper that little prayer to himself, and then he's going to start moving down the hall.
it extends. It goes about 70 feet beyond the egress point where you came down from the trap door, before it reaches a door at the end. It's called Grotesque Door. It's shaped like a gargoyle's face, and the lock is inside of its fanged open mouth. Inside the lock is a bronze key.
Oh, I certainly don't like the looks of that.
I'm going to try to open the door. No, don't mean sticking your hand in my mouth. I mean, you just want to try to open the door. Or not. You can go back and scream for help or wait for backup. Anything you like. Have another cigarette.
Well, he's gonna holding the crowbar. I'm gonna kind of just reach out and push at the door. As I do so, I'm kind of crouching slightly and balanced to leap back.
Oh yeah, the door's locked.
It does open, and there's something on the other side that.
Nope, it's locked. You realize
Okay.
that. Yeah, it's definitely locked. So if you want to open it, you're going to have to turn the key in the mouth.
Okay, well, I think Marius has done his duty of scouting, and now he will return to the others.
Okay.
So I'm left alone in this room,
You have been, yeah, for probably a couple of minutes now.
and Brother Malleus is confused. He has lived a life of hardship and of restraint. Has never drank. He is still a virgin. He is extremely strict. And then he touches this powder and he sees a vision of God. And so he's sitting there breathing heavily, fogging up the inside of his mask. And he reaches towards the bag and he holds it in his hand, lifts it up, and takes another a fistful, and eats it.
Okay.
I'm coming, Lord.
Make a saving throw versus poison, please.
Sure. Shit. Alright, it's an 8.
What's your poison save?
Poison save is. Dun, dun, dun. Where is that?
It should be right there next to your devices, paralyzation, breath.
9.
Top right corner.
Your
9.
saving throw is 9. You rolled an 8.
Yeah.
Okay, you begin to convulse. You ever seen Pulp Fiction?
Uh-huh.
You
God damn it.
remember overdoses on heroin?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's how you die.
Oh no.
You
Let's
die
fucking get
convulsing, foaming at the mouth. Eventually,
Well, you did say you were going to see the Lord.
blood pours from your ears and your eyes and your nose, and you collapse on the bed, and you go to see the Lord.
I did not expect that to happen.
Save versus poison or die.
Fucking hell. Yep.
I don't know.
Do you want to roll up the
Worth it. I think
you want to
it
roll up
makes
the
sense
Filipino
for
Sherpa
you
boy
to
real
do
quick?
Yeah, sure.
Nice. He's a standard fighter. Level 2.
Probably level 1 actually.
Maybe, yeah, level 1.
I have a level 1 fighter.
Hey, you can play his little human
That's
pack
what I'm
animal.
talking about. Yeah.
That's right. He's called Dry Nose because that's like the genius of monkeys, and he looks like a monkey to my character, so he calls him Dry Nose.
I thought I'd have some sort of incredible religious experience.
Oh, you can describe a
You did.
religious experience if you want. But
Yes, I did, yeah.
The ultimate.
Oh
you
my.
died of an overdose of purple lotus powder.
Jesus. I thought I'd get to roll a bunch of dice.
So we go in and find him with this bag of the stuff in his hand, and he's sitting there with like foam and white saliva foam coming from his mouth.
Yeah. He's very, very dead. If you want to pull up that first level fighter you have and just rename him Dry Nose, and you can be the Sherpa.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
It's a good thing you brought that guy along, Troy.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
He's fucking wicked cold standing outside, just shivering at this point, as we're sitting inside around the fire drinking hot tea, and you're at the party of your life. This little Sherpa boy is freezing.
Holy moly.
So
What kind of equipment does he? Oh, he could take any of Brother Malleus's equipment, I suppose. It's up to you guys what you want to do with Brother Malleus.
well, I'm not even aware he's dead. Last I know, he was back there with the Spaniard.
Yeah.
I kind of.
Do I hear him convulse?
You might hear some gurgling sound or something. You might hear him kick over the nightstand as he falls over. Yeah.
I walk in there with my hot tea. I look at him. I take a sip. I walk back out.
The stand has gone over. The powder is sprayed all over the floor now.
Okay. 15 minutes has passed. When I was doing my manipulation of the water clock, I was able to determine that I was not able to change the history or anything, even if it's within that
You don't
time.
think so? Yeah. You just went over and sat down beside McGuire anyway, waiting for the time to pass. But yeah.
So the time has passed now. So the
Well,
Spaniard comes.
the time passed before you popped back in.
Right. So at this point, I've come to the realization that Brother Malleus is, no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell the Spaniard that I was able to come to the realization that the water clock was able to manipulate time. I was not entirely sure of its limitation, but maybe all is not lost for the man of God. And I say that with like a little snicker and a little laugh. And I'm going to go over and try to manipulate the water clock once more to go back, 20 minutes.
Okay, as he does that,
And I told the Spaniard beforehand to stay vigil and watch.
well,
at
as
the
you do
door.
that, time freezes for everybody but you.
Okay.
You set it back 20 minutes. So they're all just standing there in whatever pose they were as you turn the hand back.
Right. So I go back, and I'm able to walk away from the clock at this point.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I'm going to walk to the back room where I had seen the end result that was Father Malleus.
You still see him lying there.
He's still dead at this point? I
Oh,
didn't go
yeah.
back further.
Yeah, I mean the foam and blood are no longer running; they're like frozen on his face. But yeah.
So I went back in time, but his condition went forward.
It doesn't seem to actually stop.
He hasn't changed. It doesn't.
Doesn't bring you back. It just stops time for the amount of time you go back. It looks like.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
Even though my intelligence is high, obviously, I did not come to that realization.
Okay. You're figuring it out now.
Okay.
Yep.
So I know he's
close.
lost. I go sit by him for a moment, and I stroke his hair, and I remove his mask and put it to his chest
Can you do that? Let me just see something here.
to see if I can, interact with things.
I'm just wondering what you can do to him. Target connect.
Oh, I would take that solid silver mask off his face.
That's XP in this game.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
doesn't.
you can do that. You can take his stuff and everything, whatever. What do you want to do?
I'm definitely gonna take his mask and his pistols and anything else that I would perceive as being valuable.
Mm-hmm. What do you have that's valuable on Brother Malleus, Lloyd?
He's got a sword. He's got chainmail. He's got 3 pistols and shot and bullets and stuff like that. He's got a holy symbol, which is also silver. Probably it.
I take all that stuff that I'm able to carry and I bring it back to Dry Nose at the entrance and tell him to come inside and get warm.
Okay, well, he's still frozen in time as well.
Right. All right. I'm waiting beside
After
him.
20 minutes pass, then, okay, you hand him the chainmail and the sword, basically.
Right. Keep hold of this. You might
What
need
about-
it.
What
This
about the
place is
pistols?
fun.
Are you giving him the pistols too, or are you keeping them?
You had how many pistols was it? Sorry.
3.
I'm gonna keep one for myself and hand 2 to Dry Nose.
Okay, so as you guys, he goes up to the clock and turns the hand back, and then all of a sudden, he's standing over beside Dry Nose, handing him Brother Malleus's gear.
Yeah.
Like that.
I walk over to him. Why are you stealing?
He won't be needing it where he's gone. I wasn't able to save him. Apparently, I'm not able to change the outcomes, even though I can manipulate the time. It's only for the person using the clock, it would seem. You can try for yourself.
Goddamn grave robber.
Say what you want. I will try to get us out of here alive. We are down 1 man. Now we are up 1 monkey-faced boy.
I look at that I look at the monkey faced boy and I say, "That's not yours."
Okay. No fight. Okay, the guy doesn't speak English, right?
He probably does.
Me no fight.
He speaks a little English. He can understand more than he can reciprocate, I guess. He can't really
Sure.
long conversation.
Nice. Do I see Marcus head up from the trap door now?
Yeah, you can see the trap door.
I look at Dry Nose and I say, "Oh, Dry Nose, you should head down there."
Okay. Sure. Whatever you say, boss.
Do what he says.
Okay. How competent is Dry Nose? He's an idiot?
He's not an idiot. No, he's just a regular kid. He's just hungry for work, and I was able to pay him to lug my shit up this mountain. He's probably quite capable, but to my eyes, he's just some ignorant foreigner that I was able to pay a couple of silver to literally be my physical pack mule.
Right, okay. Sure. So, I guess he takes the gear, and he, with relative confidence, starts messing around with it and stuff, and getting it ready and whatnot, and then he'll go down into this shaft.
So you climb down. You also see those faces carved into the walls and the floor of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to move in the flickering light as Barres is holding a piece of the broken desk there, probably a desk leg, burning like a torch. It's probably about half burned now by this point in time because it's not pitched like a torch. So
I walk over to the fireplace and I light a torch.
do you have a torch, or are you actually just taking a piece of wood out of the fireplace? Or
I have 3 torches.
brilliant. So you light a proper torch. Cool.
I have
I
torches
light-
as well, but I'm saving them until this gets lower.
I'll light my lantern.
Okay.
Oh, fancy.
But
lantern.
actually, when Dry Nose gets down there, I'll point towards the wall and with the torch and say, "What does that feel like to you?"
What does it feel like? I'll touch it.
Okay, you touch it, and all of a sudden the voices scream again, and you all hear the scream.
Ah, fuck it up!
Otherworldly language.
This time I'm ready for it, and
You
I
stay
laugh.
down there, Trinos! You stay down there!
This time you're ready for it, Maria, so what?
Ready for it, and I get a bit of a chuckle out of his reaction. But I, quickly hide it, then go over to him and just kind of pat him on the back. Well, that was pretty startling. Might not want to touch the wall again.
No.
It felt like ice cold glass anyway.
Okay.
Can I drop my torch down to Dry Nose?
You knew what?
Can I drop my torch down to Dry Nose?
Sure, you can drop it. Are you going to alert him before you drop
Dry
it? You
Nose.
just drop a torch on his head.
Right as I say Dry Nose. Dry Nose, catch this!
Yeah, just expertly.
You can catch it if you want to, that's fine.
Ninja catch.
He catches it. Climbing down?
Yeah, I'm gonna climb down. Yeah.
Okay. So Sword climbs down. What about the other people that are down there now are Delat and McGuire?
Maguire will look from Delat to the Spaniard and decide there's safety in numbers and follow them down.
What are you doing with your lantern?
What is it? Is it a ladder down there, or how do we get down?
Handholds in the wall. You gotta climb down. It's a little treacherous.
Can you put it in your mouth?
I'll turn off. I'll extinguish the lantern and climb. Just reattach it to my belt pouch.
Okay.
And climb down.
Cool. No problem. Very good. You can do that. And then Delat, you go down after him? Okay. So you guys all finally get down. And this is why I said I had no idea how long this adventure is going to run, because now 2 hours, I think nearly into the game, you are about to enter the dungeon.
Oh, all right.
So let's take a quick, like 2 or 3 to 5 minute, whatever, bio break. Anybody
All right, sounds good.
toilet, do so, refresh your drinks, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Cool beans.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Hope you guys are having fun. Okay, I'm back. Dropping my shit. Okay. Welcome back, Caius. Dennis.
Thanks.
Oh, shit. I don't have my headphones plugged in. I got them in my ears.
Yeah, this is
You guys
proving
have
to
fun?
be. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the character. He's not exactly a coward, but it's like, why do I take risks when there's other people to take them for me?
What about you, Caius? You enjoying it? You're muted.
Yeah.
Cool.
And my guy, your guy is not exactly a coward. My guy is exactly a coward.
That's the second time Malleus has died horribly in one of my games.
I'm pleased that he died before we actually got to the dungeon. That's.
I never thought that Brother
Marius
Malleus would die of a drug overdose, honestly.
Neither did I.
That
Well,
was
I don't know. It kind of fit the character, though. I mean, really, he had this like almost religious experience. You know, if he hadn't died, I could see him like becoming addicted to whatever this was.
That's what I was thinking too. This guy who's like literally never had a drink suddenly has this like crazy drug out experience. He's got to see what that's like.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I didn't get a chance to roll a second chance to see if he became addicted or not, but
Yeah.
there's 100 random different effects as well from the drug when you take it too.
Wow.
The first one, I never rolled for a second one because it didn't matter. But the first one, you would have been taking double damage anytime you were damaged for the next 93 minutes.
Wow. So I would have been dead either way.
I knew I should have carried that shot of adrenaline with me.
So I'm playing a level 1 fighter here.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Right.
I wonder who's going to be in front.
Don't worry, your last character died without taking a single hit point of damage, so
That's true. Well, this guy has 8 hit points, so we'll see how that goes.
I would just avoid ingesting any strange substances, and you might be okay.
I was gonna have Trinos just run over there and grab a handful as well.
I don't think hit points are going to save you in this adventure. So.
No.
So we're just waiting for Troy and Philip to get back.
Super cool, man. Every time I play this game, I'm like, man, these modules actually rule. They're so good. You know, it's so rare that you see like modules done so well. It's great.
This one was originally written in 2009 by James Edward Raggy IV, who created Lamentations of Flame Princess. I am, however, running the 2014 revised edition, which was revised by Zach S. So
It's good artwork.
The artwork's, I seen that earlier. It's so good.
yeah, those pictures I've been showing and using are straight out of the book. There's more. I actually forgot to show some. Put that back up to full screen, and then if I go here, I'll show you. This was the old hanging tree. There you go. That's the old hanging tree that bleeds human blood.
Yeah, even before the blood, with his brushes with the law, that noose was kind of creeping Marius out. So
Yeah, fair enough. Can't say I blame. I think Philip and Troy are playing with themselves. They've gone too long.
What is that saying? Shake it more than 3 times and you're playing with yourself. Real quick.
All right. Hey, look, and they both get back at the same time. That's not suspicious.
So, I can't believe you took a fistful of powder.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What did you think it was? Bear aspirin?
That was brilliant. It was brilliant. Okay. So, you guys were in the Screaming Hall. And at the end of the Screaming Hall, like 70 feet to the north from where you came down from the shaft, there is the door. Like I said, it's shaped like a gargoyle's face. The lock inside of it is an open mouth. And there's a bronze...
I stopped the crew about 20 feet away from the door, and I tell the boy to go and turn the key.
I go.
And just as he's about to touch the key, I touch the wall so everything screams.
And the faces start screaming again.
Yeah, I freak the fuck out and like fall on my ass, backing away from the door.
Oh, it's all right. And I'll kind of pick him up and dust him off and kind of give him a little encouraging shove towards the door as I step back a few feet. This is your moment.
So I'm like inching towards the key.
One down.
I draw my sword.
One down, 5 to go, says this Scot.
Doomy McGuire.
And I drop the torch that I'm holding and kind of continue back until I'm swallowed by the darkness using my stealth.
Excellent. So you reach into the mouth and turn the key?
I do.
Okay. The door opens into a chamber.
I'm waiting there with bated breath. This is what happens.
A chamber of...
The door opens into a chamber about 20 feet deep from south to north as you're facing into it, and about 30 feet wide west to east. There is a big double door on the east wall, and along the north and west edges of the room are 10 small tables like nightstands. Each one has a skeletal left hand resting on it. The hands have a rune carved into them. The double bronze doors on the east are engraved with a large sigil, which you may have seen me show earlier, but I will show it again here shortly. Yeah, and as you look upon it, you feel unease and mild nausea. Okay, and actually I never did show this once we started the actual recording of the Hangout, so I'll do another screen share here and show you that sigil on the door. And there it is. Okay, everybody see that?
It looks like a circle, and that someone's taken 4 fingers of blood and drawn down.
Kind of, yeah.
Bloody finger painting.
This must be the sigil of the cult.
Well, it probably took a cult to manifest this list of dead, for it dates back millennia. It couldn't have been done by one sole family.
And you said
Yeah, the oldest
these
writing
tables are 10 left hands, 10 skeletal hands.
Yep, there's 10 skeletal left hands on one on each table. And just to for detail's sake, Troy, with the oldest language you recognize was over 5,000 years old, and that was about halfway through the book.
So yes, this death cult has been in existence for a very long time, dating back from before my understanding of the occult and collections of names such as these. There's thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of lost souls listed in this book. I would know more, but someone, God bless his soul, and I do it again in a mocking fashion, blew a hole in it.
I would like to look around at these tables. Do these look like tables that were set up for scribes to copy? And now they're just hands?
No, they're just like weird little nightstand table type things.
You said that there were. You said that there were runes on the hands.
There are.
Are they the same rune? Or
It is the same
are they
rune
different?
transcribed on each hand.
And there's 10 hands on 10 tables.
Mhm.
How far away are they?
What do
Like
you mean?
apart.
Oh,
If I was
sorry.
to grip one hand, could I also reach over and grab another with my hand? Just
Well,
for
there
purposes?
are basically 5 along the south wall and 5 along the west wall, 5 along the north wall. So let's see, that's 20 feet. They're about 4 feet space. You know what I mean? For in a 20-foot space, there's 5 tables.
So I could potentially, with my wingspan, grip 2 at any given time.
Oh, easily, yeah. But they're both
Is-
left hands, just to
Do
Right.
I get the sense that they're decorating with skeletons, or that these are like magical in nature?
Well, they do have runes carved into them, which at the moment none of you can read. But
When Marius peeks in the room,
does anybody have a language skill that wants to try to read it? Or
I have a language skill. My language skill is 1.
roll it.
I can try.
Might as well try it.
I will also try.
All right.
It's a 1. Is that good?
Oh, I got a 1.
I got a 1.
Go pick dry nose.
Okay,
Go monkey face.
Rhino's got it. Who else got it? Sward, you also got
I
it?
got it.
Okay, so you have figured out how to read the Duvanku runes.
I
And
I
this
look over.
this
Oh, wow.
rune,
I've seen this
both of
before
you,
in my family's library in Iberia.
this rune has 2 meanings actually. It means both transcribe and replace.
If dry nose begin to say anything intellectual about these runes that I myself couldn't decipher, I'm gonna backhand him and tell him to shut up.
And who does?
No, I think he has a point here. It's to transcribe. And then once you've transcribed, to replace.
So feeling a bit
I
miffed at getting slapped, I'm going to walk over to the whatever the nearest door is.
Well, there's only the
Trinos, wait!
double bronze doors on the east wall that have that rune, which you're looking at right there on my screen.
Okay.
By the way, now that you recognize that sigil also from the Duvanku language, it basically means death.
Whew.
There's death. There's death behind that door.
There's death everywhere.
while
Try
everyone
this.
else is mucking about with this magical mumbo jumbo,
You're so fatalistic.
kind of
You'd be so young.
I've been through a lot.
Sorry, Marius, what were you saying?
Marius is gonna just kind of glance around the room looking for any trinkets or artifacts that may have any material value.
At the moment, you just have these 10 skeletal hands in here.
Okay.
You say the big rune is on the door too, on the
Yeah, the bronze double doors. Yep,
So the big
They're
rune
made
is
of
there.
bronze.
they are.
How tall are they?
Oh, we'll say they're about 8 feet tall. Each door is 4 feet wide.
I'm going
So
to
8 feet, 10 feet tall.
8 feet tall.
Talat walks up
Feet
to the
tall.
door, and without touching the rune, I'm just going to finger it just from afar and just move my finger along the ridge of it to cast shadow from my hand upon the rune that's on the door.
What does that do? What's the effect?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Are you
Oh, you just cast your shadow.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
transcribing?
Cast your shadow. I thought you were casting a spell called Shadow. Sorry.
No, I'm casting my shadow upon the rune, just
Yeah.
tracing it with my finger. I
Nothing.
would cast Read Magic, but I don't know what that spell does in this. I think that's just the base spell that all wizards need to have in order to
Do you want to try to
use the
cast it?
spell. Sure, I cast it.
Okay, suddenly you can read the Duvanku runes, and you recognize this sigil means death, and that the rune on the hands has a double meaning, both transcribe and replace. How long does that last, by the way?
Read magic?
Mm-hmm.
Let me look it up here real quick.
Because you'll be able to read the Duvanku language for that amount of time.
Alright, you go ahead and I'll let you know here once I figure it out.
No problem. So, who wants to open the doors, or do you want to turn back and go back to the village? And
I feel like Drynose
Sword.
is not afraid to die. He's regretting immensely following this lunatic up here. Now that he's up here,
He's come all the way across Indonesia and all the way through Europe just to earn some money to send back to his family. He is like the sole breadwinner. He does not want to die.
okay. So in that case,
Not having seen any valuables yet, Marius is seriously considering leaving, but he's going to stick around for a little longer.
Sword will trigger will put
Tales
his
of
hands.
gold amongst the death.
He's gonna put his hands on that door and he's gonna bust it open like Aragorn.
as you
Walking into
do,
Waterdeep.
there's like a breaking of a seal, and you're hit in the face with a refrigerator-like blast of cold air. You all feel it. It like blows your cloaks back and everything as the air escapes. That music that you've been hearing gets a little bit louder. You still hear this music constantly. You're looking into a chapel, a very large room.
Like a church?
Yes, exactly. You see 3 foot by 3 foot prayer plinths carved into the living rock. You hear the sound of rattling chains further on in the darkness. The ceiling here reaches a height of 30 feet high. Do you want to move?
The ceilings are 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I'll move
Yeah, I
in.
take a step in.
As you move forward with a torch or lantern, you'll eventually see murals, an altar, an organ, and 12 jawless, toothless skulls made of ice hanging in the center of the room from hooks on 10-foot chains, dripping. So they're about 20 feet off the ground.
12 of them.
Yes, and they're dripping.
I
Did you
will.
say skulls?
Dripping as in melting or dripping some other substance?
Yeah, they're like as in melting. Just a little bit. Drip.
I'll go to take a look at the altar.
I just want to say real quick, as the group's moving, Marius is staying on the outside, just
Okay.
outside the rim of light, sticking to the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
He follows the group.
That's fair.
I'll tell the boy to be careful. Take it easy.
Yes, sir.
Look before you leap.
As for read magic, once I'm able to see it, I'm able to read it indefinitely. I think
Are you? Okay, so you can read that language from now on then.
it's instantaneous. So
Cool. Okay, so you're walking up to the altar, yeah?
Yes.
So this is opposite the entrance. It's all the way across the chapel. So you got to walk under the skulls to get there. It's basically about 100 feet across from the bronze doors.
Okay.
There's a great altar shaped like a fanged skull. A bowl sits on the altar. In order to mount the altar or look into the bowl, you will need to walk into the skull's mouth.
ooh,
Wait.
I walk.
Oh my god.
Okay, you're going to walk into the mouth?
Yep.
Okay, look into the bowl.
Yep.
You see a jewel-encrusted dagger and a ruby necklace.
Ooh, baby.
They both look
That will-
extremely valuable.
That will provide rice for your family for years.
I'll say, Master.
Go for it, Drynose. You have my blessing. You are a man now.
Master, there's a necklace and a dagger, some sort of sacrificial dagger. Looks like you could use it in your rituals. Do you want me to keep it, or do you want me to?
Let me see, boy. Move aside. And I walk up to him and I stand beside him and gaze into the bowl at the two items.
Yeah, you see, like I said, a jewel-encrusted dagger and a ruby necklace.
Drynose, you have my blessing. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll pick up the dagger and the necklace.
Okay. For scorekeeping purposes, you now have. I didn't even realize I had you selected there. You now have a jewel-encrusted dagger worth 1,400 silver pieces, and the ruby necklace is worth 1,000 silver pieces.
Holy shit.
I know, right?
However, you also are now cursed. Your character doesn't know, but just for mechanical purposes, so you understand, from now on, whenever you make an attack roll, you have to roll twice and take the lowest roll.
For fuck's sake.
You're on permanent attack disadvantage, essentially.
Is that because he's holding the items, or was the act of taking the items? Once he gives them to myself, when I say, hand them over here, boy, which I'm going to say right now.
Okay.
Sure, here you go, sir.
You ask him to hand them over?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you hand them to him. No problem.
All right, so I'm examining them. I see that they have, obvious monetary value, but I don't see any magical properties.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast Identify on them. You hear me start chanting as I look deep into these items.
While he's chanting, can you tell me what else is in this room?
Yes, I can. While he's doing that, you want to look at the murals or the organ? Or the skulls, but I mean, like I said, I've kind of already described the skulls.
So this is just, there's like the brass doors. Are there any hallways in this room?
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't describe entrances and exits. Right. So you came in through the bronze doors on the west wall.
Uh-huh.
There is a door on the north edge of the chapel, and that's pretty kind of relatively close to the organ. It's about 30 feet to the left of the organ, and then there's another door right alongside the it's on the east wall. It's kind of along the bottom side of the altar. It's near a couple of water basins.
So there's a door on the north, a door to the east. There's an organ, an altar.
And there's murals as well on the wall.
And there's a mural.
Yeah, basically there's several murals, but there's
I think I want to go and check out the mural.
Do me, McGuire will check out a mural as well.
As you guys are looking at the murals, one wall mural depicts a man in a crown and a cape from behind. So you're looking at him from behind, basically. And you see many demons bowing before him. You see the bloated goat, the empress of all widows, the primordial demogorgon, the ring wolf, etc.
Do I see Malleus in there?
No, you don't. Although you're suddenly reminded of your painting that you have rolled up on your back.
That's why I was looking, yeah.
You want to pull the painting off your back and look at that?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
It's still the same. Well, hold on a second. No, I'm sorry. Brother Malleus is no longer in the painting.
So the 5 orbs are not being depicted by anyone at this point, or someone else step in to take his spot, like Drynose?
You see Drynose in his spot, but he's not holding the glass spheres like Brother Malleus had been.
Was Drynose in it last time?
No, he wasn't.
Holy
roll a wisdom roll, please. Just roll a d20. What do you get?
All right, it's 11, so 18.
Yeah, no, you're not sure why, but he wasn't in it before.
So I think I'm starting to get the idea that this painting might be magical.
There's something unusual about it for sure. Another wall mural depicts unimaginable violations. Several other wall murals. One shows hundreds of women hanged from a single spreading tree. It looks very similar to the tree you saw outside. Another
The
shows
one that was
hundreds of
bleeding?
men. Another one shows hundreds of men impaled on leaning pikes. It has an inscription in the Duvanku tongue, which you can read, that says, "Name them, yet build to them no monument." Another mural
Wait a
depicts
minute. Is he talking about the names in the book?
It says, an inscription, "Name them, yet build to them no monument." You might
Name them.
remember that they were all buried in
Name-
mass, unmarked graves.
Wait a minute. So there was that book that had all those listed names in different
Yeah.
languages. It was to transcribe them and replace their name in a new language.
And
And the old man is creating
a monument
tombstones
for
for
each
them,
of
is he
them.
not?
Yeah, he has been for a long time, for 50 years now.
His life work.
Why is this mural directly saying not to make monuments for them?
Another mural depicts a man stabbed with 9 swords being dropped into an hourglass.
What the fuck?
An inscription there reads, "He is made holy, the eater of souls."
Does he look like Malleus?
What of souls?
He does not. The eater of souls.
Hold on, let me make a note.
Eater of souls.
The eater of souls is time. Hey, I look at Delot.
He's over there talking to Dry Nose at the altar, casting a spell at the moment.
Delot, you said that you had some kind of encounter with time in the cabin, did you not?
I told you directly, yes.
Your identify spell revealed that the items are not magical.
I hand Dry Nose the dagger, the jeweled dagger, but keep the necklace.
Okay.
I take him by the hand, I place the dagger in it and close his fists upon it. It's like, take care of this. It's extremely valuable. If you get me out of here alive and down this mountain, this can be yours as well. And I wave the jeweled necklace in front of his face. You have served me well.
By the way, Troy, you're cursed as well, just so you know. Disadvantage on all attack rolls.
That's all good. I don't see me attacking shit. But as I'm finishing my spell and I hand over the dagger, I say to the Spaniard, yes, the water clock in the main room was able to manipulate time.
I'm down there on the ground and I'm carefully rolling back up my painting.
I'm gonna wander to the organ.
It's so cold in here, you can see my breath just fogging everywhere.
Right as you walk over to the organ, this is just north of the altar, there's an organ whose keys are made of finger bones and whose pipes are made from the thigh bones of some enormous animals. The ends of the pipes are stained like a dying animal's teeth.
Alright, I'll just
But they're stained red?
like
They're
I think
stained
so, right?
they're stained, what did I say? Hold on a second.
Dying animal's teeth.
Dying
teeth,
animal's teeth.
Yeah.
So they must
I'll
be
go
stained
over
red.
and while they're all kind of intensely looking at these murals, I'll just play like "Ding-ling."
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
like that classic bit of that horror music. I'm trying to figure out what it's called, but I don't know.
That is...
Like a funeral march?
That's
Right.
That's the
It's
one
called
you put on
Vox
your playlist.
Toccata and Fugue in D minor, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's called what?
Vox Toccata and Fugue in D minor.
Yep.
Ah. That's the one.
A skull, as you do so, a skull falls from a hook. One of the ice skulls. Okay.
So just any note they hit causes. Does it shatter on the ground?
No, just one skull falls,
Maybe it was the thing I played.
and liquid from within it splashes into the air. Everyone in the room must make a save versus death, please.
What the fuck? All right.
It
Is this
literally
versus
says-
poison, breath weapon,
Oh,
magic?
It literally says in here, save versus death. It literally
Yeah, but
says
the-
in here, if someone
What type of
blocks
save?
Takata and Fugue in D minor, this happens.
No fucking way!
Yeah.
All right.
So you roll D20.
I,
What's your
I'm
death
rolling.
save?
There's no death save though.
There is
What's
death
the death save? Where is it?
It's one of your 5 saving throws.
Breath, weapon, magical device, magic, poison,
I have
paralyze.
magic.
Well,
I have
under
breath
poison-
weapon, paralyzation,
Poison, it says
magic
instant death.
devices, and poison.
Poison
Ah,
is
yeah.
also death.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Poison is
okay.
death.
Just sorry about that.
Poison is
So we
death.
have to roll under that number?
No, you want to roll
No,
equal to or
over.
higher.
I rolled
Wow.
11 and mine is 11, so I'm good.
You're good, Delat.
3, I die.
I'm fucking dead
No, you
again.
don't die.
I'm
You don't
dead.
die. You don't die. Caius, you failed as well?
Yeah.
What about Dennis?
I made it.
Okay, so
Me and
Caius,
Darius.
who is playing Doomy McGuire, Drynos, and Sward, you all age 20 years.
Oh, fucking hell.
And it says here I have to place my palm over my face for 15 seconds.
What the fuck? I just
So
thought
we
that,
see Box, Takata, and Fugue and D minor. It literally says in the book if
that
someone
would be so fitting, I thought. It'd be so clever.
D minor. Okay.
It just shows you how awesome this game is, man.
Oh, it's so good. What the fuck that they would think of that and put it in there? That's so good.
And they've just been waiting all this time for Lloyd to come along and fall for the trap.
Do you want to play anything else?
Am I dead?
No, you're not dead. You aged 20 years.
Oh, okay.
You're still young. You're 34 now. You're good.
And you know
So,
you're 34.
hearing that sound and feeling my skin crawl, then suddenly seeing which one's aged?
Doomy
Not me and
McGuire.
you.
Yeah, Doomy McGuire, Drynos, and Sward, all aged 20 years each. How old does
So
that make
in
you
that-
now?
Oh god, I would
How
say
old
I'm
were you
like
before?
47.
Okay.
Do me. You weren't sure how old he was to start with, but it'd be about 60.
Okay. So Doomy's definitely showing the age.
Ooh.
Get away from there, boy! I scream to Drynos as he plays his tune.
Yeah.
And he turns around and looks at me, and his face is not the same boyish monkey face that I had been mocking for the last 6 months as we traveled
He's got a
across
beard
Europe.
now. He turns around, he's got a beard.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Marius is back in the hallway.
You've left the room?
Yeah, I backed up out of the
Okay.
room.
Okay.
I have a tune I'd like to play. I
Oh, really?
suggest you leave the room.
I pick up my
so.
painting, I put it on my backpack, and I leave the room.
Okay. Going back to the hall. Back to the entrance.
Yes,
chamber, basically.
away!
I'm gonna just keep going at this point.
Oh, you're going out of the whole place.
Well, maybe not out of, definitely like a couple rooms down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody staying in the room as Doomy steps up and starts cracking his knuckles at the organ?
I'm just going to step outside of the doorway to make sure I'm past the threshold and to the next hallway. And I'm going to watch.
What about you, Drynos?
Okay.
You gonna stay? Okay. What are you gonna play?
I'm going to play the music that was played on the harpsichord upstairs.
Oh.
You were sitting around by the fire for a long time, so you heard it play over and over and over and over.
Okay. Everyone who can hear, you can all hear. So everybody make a save versus magic, please.
Holy shit, motherfucker.
I failed that time.
I failed.
You said versus
Save
magic.
versus magic?
Yes.
Oh, magic. I got a better roll
I
there.
did it.
I rolled 17. I'm good.
You gotta get the
16.
number higher.
Number or higher, yep.
Just made it. Got 13. My
Okay.
both.
So everyone, save or succeed, fail or succeed, you will all see a vision of an architect in red drawing a plan of the shrine. The details are obscure, but you can see the plan has 30 rooms. Everyone who failed to save will be at a -1 to everything for the rest of the game. So -1 to all rolls.
This
Okay?
stuff is brutal.
So I'm walking out of this room. I get a fucking vision of an architect all in red designing a place.
Mhm. The only room that you recognize is the chapel that you've just come out of. So it's obviously a plan of the place you're in.
Unfinished work.
When you say the
30
architect,
rooms. We've been in one room. 2 rooms.
2, technically, yeah.
the architect, what does
I've
he look
aged
like?
20 years.
Just an architect all dressed in red drawing plans
Okay.
to a shrine.
Wants the friend
You don't
OD.
see his face or anything. Everything's very obscured. You can't even really make out the plans of the shrine too well. You just can you can tell that there's 30 rooms. Where they are, you can't really tell. It's all blur. The memory's hazy.
So those guys are going to be at a -3 to attack now?
They're a -1 and they have disadvantage.
Oh, shit.
So, as this newest vision fades, Marius has a flashback to his childhood and actually begins reciting the Lord's Prayer to himself as he continues to back up slowly.
Another one of these fair weather Christians.
So there was a door out of this room as well, even though we
There's
solved
2 doors. There's 2 doors out of it. There's a door to the north and a door on the east.
none of the problems. What was it we deciphered again? Sorry, Phil, I knew you were making notes. What was the thing we deciphered from the hands outside, the left hands and the tables?
They said transcribe and replace. It was one rune that had the double meaning, transcribe and replace.
Transcribe.
And on the mural it says Eater of Souls.
On the
Which is
one
the
mural with the man who was
Pierced by
stabbed
9
with 9
swords.
swords and being dropped into an hourglass, it said he is made holy and eater of souls. And then the other paintings or murals, sorry, with the hundreds of men being impaled on spikes, hundreds of women being hanged from a tree, it said name them yet build them no monument. Of course, there's hundreds of monuments built outside to the victims of this cult. So, oops. That rule was broken 50 years ago.
And was that guy telling us why these people were killed in the first place? Because they were...
Just said there was bad people up here, some kind of a horrible cult making sacrifices. And according to what you've seen in that book, it looks like they sacrificed millions of people over thousands of years.
Wow.
Is it getting too creepy for you guys? Do you want to stop now?
I dare you to play the Fugue again.
I closed the door so I cannot hear it.
No.
I don't think you'll be playing that song again. Are you?
I don't think so.
Unless you want to age another 20 years.
I think I'll avoid that.
Honestly, I think the effect only happens once anyway.
God, that's the best thing I've ever heard. It's so good.
Oh, I've got a list. I've got like 12 more songs listed here.
No fucking way, really?
Yeah, do you want to play anything else?
No.
Maybe
Let's see what I
not.
can think of. No, I'll pass.
So there's the door. There's the east door next to the basins, and then there was the door on the north wall as well.
Doomy Maguire will drag a basin under the dripping skull to
The
collect.
basins are built in, so you won't be able to drag them.
Okay.
But as you walk up to the basins, because nobody's inspected them yet, just south of the altar, across from the doorway, there are 2 basins built into the wall filled with blackened water. Both of the basins are filled with teeth and marked with a rune. You can't read Duvanku, though, can you?
No.
There's an unreadable rune on the basins.
I can. I'll go over and have a look with him.
Ah, the room that's marked on the two basins, each of them, says gift.
Gift.
I'll reach in, and because
You're
I'm
60,
20 years,
yeah.
years older, it's coming out. It comes out quite easily, and I'll throw a tooth into the basin.
Okay. The east door opens.
Did you just say you pulled out your tooth?
He did, and
Yeah.
dropped it in the basin, and then the door opened.
I'll walk through the door.
It leads into another hall. 20 feet
Good.
ahead of you. 20 feet ahead of you, there is a door. It looks like a vault door, like a bank vault door with wheels that turn on the sides. And on the left, there's another door, 90 degrees to the left. Also the same, so two kind of vault doors, one right on your left, one straight ahead of you. On the right, there's another little 20 by 20 foot room. Let me see what this room is. This room contains 4 stone slabs stained with ancient blood, bandages, surgical tools, and pieces of shaped iron, as well as a podium with a book on it. It also contains 4 spherical alchemical flasks, partially filled with a clear liquid label, with written a label on it. In a language that you can't read, Doomy.
More of these strange things in here.
I'll nip over there and grab that book for the master.
You grab the book. It says right on it, "The Grimoire of New Flesh."
Oh my. Hang on, he's not here, is he?
Not yet. I don't know where he's gone.
All right, I'm going to put that in my pack.
Okay. You put the Grimoire of New Flesh in your pack.
Yeah.
Did you read the label on the alchemical flasks?
Certainly, yeah.
It says liquid time.
Time.
Looks very much like the liquid that splashed out of that skull that fell when you played the fugue.
Right. So it could age me. All right. I'll take them. The potions or whatever. Put them in my pack.
Okay.
Looks
They all have the same symbol on them.
Yeah, they all are labeled the same.
They all look the same.
Mhm.
Do they all smell the same?
Oh, you're going to sniff them, are you?
I am.
Yes, they all smell the same.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll stop with them and I'll put them in my pack.
Just start chugging them down. Sorry, Caius, what are you saying?
I just warned the Indonesian. That looks like the liquid that aged us 20 years. So be careful. Don't fall over and break your pack.
I'll do my best.
Oh, no, Troy's chewing. I thought he was talking. Okay. Yeah, so you've got a vault door on the east, straight across from the door you came through, or a vault door heading to the north. These doors, I'll just give you a full description of them. They're called bronze vault doors. They have spinning bank vault-like wheels on either side of the door.
I like contraptions, so I'll go over and have a look, see if I can figure out how they work.
Which one? The one to the east or the one to the north?
The one to the left.
Okay, that's the one heading north. Yeah, so you turn the wheel until basically it just kind of it opens, It's just like a wheel that turns and cranks the device inside until it opens.
I'll go to the other one. Do the same thing.
As you do so, once you open that door, Doomy, the music that you've been hearing all along gets a little bit louder. It now is as loud as a violinist playing in the same room. You open, and you're looking into a long hall as far as you can see once you open that, Doomy. As, what's his name? Dry Nose? I was going to call him Brown Nose. Dry Nose opens the other door. It opens into a crypt. Rows upon rows of mummified crypts, basically, stacked 30 feet high, honeycombed with 5-foot access tunnels and steps mortared into the loose brickwork and smooth plaster mortared with strange ice. Terrible echoes, dust. The ice is obviously just starting to melt.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a look around. These are crypts.
Yeah, you gonna start searching around in there?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
How long are
buried
you gonna
treasure.
search?
Very treasure need. I'll actually call Doomy.
Yeah, I'll go and have a look.
What about the rest of you guys?
Marius, come have a look.
Sward?
I'm letting these lesser folks do all the dirty work, delving through dead bodies. I'm just watching from afar.
Is it pretty safe to say you're hanging back about a room away or a hallway away each time?
I would say I'm like poking my head in the door frame of each new room we go in and gazing in as these two more braver souls than I go delving through this place after I've seen the results.
What about Marius?
Much the
Now,
same. He would be sticking to the outskirts of whatever light there is to stick in the shadows and
Okay.
peek what he can peek.
And Sword?
Sword would go over to the organ, and I'm not going to play it, but I would like to investigate it.
Oh, yes. All the playing jarred something loose. So as you're investigating it, you're going to find something.
Oh, shit.
I'll tell you exactly what you find. You think it's a good thing. That's cute. You find an onyx bowl and a sapphire dead sign locket. The dead sign being that death rune that I showed you earlier. They both look pretty valuable.
Put it on. Put it on.
Okay, so I take those and I open up my pouch.
And there's
And
a
I put
minor
them in my
tremor
backpack.
which you all feel as something moves or something, the ground shakes like a very mild earthquake.
There's
Just
a mild tremor.
Yep.
Christ.
This place is wrong.
You can almost hear like cracking of ice in the walls. This whole place seems to be starting to thaw.
It's like there's an earthquake in the mountain.
That's what it felt like. It was very light, you know.
As far as earthquakes, when you're
I look at the murals. Anything happen in the murals?
No. They're the same.
Holy shit.
So how long you guys are searching the crypts there? About 10 minutes, say?
10 minutes.
Yeah, sounds
Okay.
good to me.
Mark this off on my timer.
Drynos, what have you
There's a
found?
timer?
You find, as you're searching through these priests' crypts, because these are rows upon rows of mummified priests, you find, I'll roll all the dice for now.
As in cultist priests or like Catholic priests?
Yeah, they're not Catholic priests. You find 14 gold pieces worth of gold trinkets and ancient coins.
Boo.
Okay, well,
14 gold pieces?
Yeah.
wow. Okay, so I'll be like, whenever I find them, after the first one, when I'm like, wow.
I'm sorry, and also an additional, because I did roll a 6 on that one die, you find an additional 28 silver pieces worth of jewelry as well.
Okay. So after the first time I find something, I'm like, wow. Then I realize that Master is watching, so I'll start just nonchalantly, like, picking up coins, and every like second or third cash that I find, I'm like, wow. But I'm trying to be subtle about it, so I'm going to give him a third of what I find.
Okay. Doomy, you find a musical score buried amongst one of the priests. It's labeled in a language you cannot read.
I'm much more, if it's a piece of parchment, I'm much more interested in what Doomy just pulled out of one of these sarcophaguses or caskets or whatever these guys are buried in.
Can you read Duvanku? You can.
I can.
It's a musical score. It's labeled Dismissal Fugue.
Dismissal fugue. Magic organ. Doomy, you played a song earlier. You can't read this, but maybe if I was to decipher it for you, you could play us another song.
Well,
My
if he
fingers,
can
and
play
you
the organ,
should.
he probably can read music. He can't read the words, but he can read the music.
So there's lyrics that go with the
Remember,
just description.
no, there's no lyrics, but I just said he couldn't read the title, but he could read the music. Music is the, what do they call it, the universal language.
Right. That would be mathematics.
That's
But
That
it's all good. It's the other math. So I explained to him what it is. The title of the song, Dismissal. Maybe it has something to do with dismissing these death orbs, these glass skulls.
Doomy stares at the skull and says, "Oh, I knew that. I knew that."
By the way, who said math?
Me and Phil.
Okay, save versus poison. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not a spiteful GM.
Lovely. So we found some magic papers. Now that I see that they're not the Book of Shadows that I'm here for.
No,
or
they're
something
not the
else.
Shadows.
So I'm less inclined to kill Doomy for them.
That's good.
I
Good
am
Doom is quite relieved.
intrigued.
Do you want to keep searching for more treasure?
10 minutes seems good.
I want to play again.
If I see him approaching that organ, I'm
Oh,
pulling
you're
a
back in the
sword.
room with the organ now, aren't you?
Yeah, he's just looking it over.
As you're in there, you hear a crash. You look back and you see one of the skulls, ice skulls, has fallen. And you actually realize there was 12, I think, wasn't it, when you first came in? There's only 9 remaining now.
Oh.
Was that from...
That's anybody who's in the room with the organ and the ice skulls.
Is there anything I can do to prop up these skulls so they don't keep falling?
Well, you see, as you go and investigate closer, you see what's happening because they're just suspended. It's like they're frozen on these chains from the ceiling. But as they're melting, they're just falling off.
And what are the chains doing anything once the skulls fall off?
Just hanging there, doing what chains do, hanging out.
Oh, okay. So
I look at the chains with the skulls, and I look at the figure of the man. How many chains are there?
There's 12 skulls.
How many swords were in the man in the mural?
9.
9.
9. Not a connection.
And there were 10 skeletal hands in the other room.
There were.
at this point, Marius is going to be making his exit out of this place.
Yeah?
I think Marius is leaving us, and I think he's got a good idea. I think this place is built of ice, and the ice is melting.
Yeah, but if we stay just a little bit longer, we can get more treasure.
The Book of Shadows might be in there somewhere.
I'm with you, Drino. Stick with me. We'll continue on. Let these cowards leave, climb down the mountain alone, empty-handed.
So I have a painting, I have an onyx bowl, and I have a death sign locket. Is that made out of gold, or is it just a...
The locket, the death sign, what did it say the death sign locket was made out of? Hold on. I don't think it was made of solid gold, no. It's not worth that much. It's worth 250 silver pieces anyway.
I get a cursed locket.
And also the, what was the other thing you found? The crown, wasn't
onyx bowl?
Onyx bowl, yeah,
What?
that is worth. The onyx bowl is worth 1,300 silver pieces. And the dead sign locket is made of sapphire, sorry. It's for 250 silver
it's a
pieces. Yeah,
sapphire.
this is for scorekeeping purposes.
This adding up pretty quickly. So we've gotten some treasure. We've lost one of our companions, and we don't understand.
I've been
anything
aged
that we've
20 years.
Exactly. We don't understand anything that we've gotten into thus far. I'm determined to get the Book of Shadows, but I might have to get a more competent group to lead me through this maze in the future.
I'll go down the other corridor and take a look what's down that way.
Gonna walk down that hall.
I want to get rich. I'm not coming back here.
No.
Okay.
make the most of it while I can.
About 70, 80 feet further down the hall, there's another vault door on the right.
Open it.
Okay, you do, and it's another set of crypts.
Okay. Similar to the ones I'd seen?
Very similar, yep.
Okay, that's no good. It takes too long.
Okay, and there's another door about 30 feet beyond that on the left.
Let's do it.
Doomy catches up with you.
Yeah, you can see Drynow's like a man possessed. He knows he's not going to come back here. He's never going to get another chance to get rich like he has here. So he's just like rushing through. He's like, I can't stop the search. The place is falling apart. I've got to find something big.
Okay. Is anybody following him? Anybody not following him? Marius, you said, is leaving, yes, Dennis?
Yeah, he's gonna go climb out and be at the trapdoor.
I'm gonna say, Marius, hold up!
Okay.
I'm following suit just as I was before. Always like just 150
You're following
yards.
the guys behind, okay. And what about Sward? Sward, are you going with Marius, or are you going to follow the intrepid treasure hunters?
Nope, I'm gonna follow Marius.
Okay. Okay, so treasure hunters. This door on the left you open. There are 18 marble pedestals. Each one has a 20-pound book upon it.
Ooh, books!
The books are bound in human flesh, and the titles in the Duvanku language, for those of you who can read it, which are, 2 out of 3, are Chronicle of the Most Consummate Church of Duvanku, volumes 1 through 18. Next to one of the books is a small eyepiece.
I'll have a look through the eyepiece.
You can read the language when you look through the eyepiece.
Ooh.
So there's no subtext, no subtitles, just the 18 encyclopedias. Of this.
Sticking out of the 16th book, there's an inserted note on a piece of vellum.
Right.
Okay. What does it say?
It, when you open it, it's a note by a Duvanku historian concerning the necessity of investigating the possible betrayal of Praetor Pontifex Cyrus Carnithrax Maximus by the Red Architect, Nazir and Anzat, both of whom are said to now be entombed here in the tombs of the greater repugnances, isolated individual crypts dedicated to powerful members of the church.
Wow.
Those are the ones you're looking for,
Yeah.
Drynose.
Those are the ones. Is there what's in the books? Are they covered in this script as well?
Yeah, I mean, let's see if you want to try to read the chronicles. They're dense with allegory and legend, most of them probably useless without a professional scholar to provide context.
Okay. No, not worth enough.
Being a professor of the occult, this stuff is fucking, ecstasy to me looking at this stuff, but at the same time, I fully understand.
Yeah, they weigh 20 pounds.
I'm not going to be able. I'm not going to be able to get them out of here, so I'm cursing as I walk past these. But the little inscription of the little film paper with the little, I'm gonna grab that if no one has already done so that saw it before me. Now these books are, the reason I'm here. So I'm looking like a demon possessed trying to get to anything that I would perceive as outside of the norm.
Yeah,
I'm beating it out of here, trying to find another room with some stuff that's worth some money.
And I'm running after the Indonesian, trying to make sure he doesn't get anything that I want.
Okay, we mark off some more time here.
So there was no designation of where these two upper.
Just says that they're somewhere down here in the tombs of the greater repugnances. The tomb of the greater repugnances.
So basically, just from my quick synopsis of reading through this, I pretty much get a general history of this entire cult background kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, did you say one of them was the Red Architect and the other one was a Pontifex or something?
Yeah, one was it was investigating the possible betrayal of Praetor Pontifex Cyrus Carnithrax Maximus by the Red Architect Nazir and Anzat.
Okay.
Both of whom are said to now be entombed here in the tombs of the greater repugnances.
Okay.
Isolated individual crypts dedicated to powerful members of the church.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound good, doesn't it? Sounds great.
All right, so I'm booking it to the next room.
Okay, so you go down, you come to another vault door at the end of the corridor, the long tunnel.
Huh?
You open it, and straight across from you, 20 feet ahead. Hold on a second here. Just, pull up a picture here for you. You see, I think it's this one. Oh yeah, that's the one. Okay, I'll do a quick screen share so you can see it. Okay, you see a massive stone eye with hundreds of smaller eyes carved into the pupil, set into the wall above a basin filled with black and stagnant water. This is 20 feet ahead of you as you open up. There's a corridor going down to your left, and on the right, just beside this carving, there's another big vault door. Looking at this, this eye of many eyes, you can see there's a few copper coins in the basin. The carving itself is covered in that same cold, glassy substance that you saw the faces at the kind of entrance hall. And like those faces, the light playing across the surface makes the sculpture appear alive. The smaller eyes seem to follow you when you're moving.
Copper coins, huh?
Mm-hmm. Copper coins in black water in the basin.
This is making me very uneasy. Now look at Doomy.
Doomy's heading off towards the other door, the door with the mechanism.
You also see here the sound is now getting louder. The music is now as loud as a string quartet.
Okay, we're getting close. We're getting close to the big thing.
Yep, follow the music.
This thing seems ominous. I don't want to touch those coins.
No, I'm not touching the coins. Besides, they're only copper.
Me and you, Doomy. We can do it.
We're here for something bigger than copper.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to open the door on the right of that, or go down the tunnel, or the corridor?
Which way?
The other way.
Which way does the music seem to be coming from?
The other way.
Okay.
We'll go the other way.
It's behind the eye, right?
As you go that way, there's a corridor on your left with a door about 20 feet down, and just ahead of that there seems to be another turn on the right, or you can keep going straight towards where the sound is coming from.
Let's go for the sound.
Yeah, we don't have
So
time
you
to
pass those and go
here.
straight down to... Okay, I need to get another picture. Sorry, that one's no longer any good. There we go. This is the one you want.
Oh Jesus.
So you get to the end, or to, you go down, sorry, this corridor. The room is completely occluded by a viscous substance, here congealing like phlegm and there clear as a jellyfish. It looks like it was once a man. The doorway literally frames a pale, opaque, aged, completely bald and completely human and human-sized head hanging off the front of a bloated mass, like the knot in a dirty white balloon, flanked by a pair of thin, feeble shoulders, terminating in equally frail arms. The music seems to be coming straight from this creature. A galaxy of glass-like spheres are clearly visible, interspersed throughout the creature's vast, organless body, each sphere ranging in size from that of a small fist to that of an infant's head, each of them 3/4 full of a watery substance.
Run, you fools!
Right.
The creature is choking the... you can see above it there's like a shaft that leads up, and part of its body is choking that shaft. It also appears to extend down into a pit in the floor. So you have no idea how big it truly is.
Did it see these guys?
It sees you and is slowly moving towards you.
Oh shit. Doomy, what do we do?
Beyond it, beyond the creature, occasionally through its body, you get a view of... Find it here. Where the hell is it here? There's the description. You can see an altar beyond it. On the altar is a massive book.
Boom.
Basically, you're looking through the creature as if you're looking through clear marbles in a fishbowl. Ceilings again here are 30 feet high. They arch above a giant carved skeleton on the west wall, covering an intricately carved waist-high altar against which the parasite's body presses 2 golden goblets, a large and ornate book, and any object used, and another book. There's 2 books, I should say. There's a large ornate book, and there's another book which you can see is the Book of Shadow.
Oh shit.
out of my way! You hear me yell, and I start chanting again, and I cast a spell.
What are you casting?
I'm casting haste, which doubles my movement and doubles my action.
Excellent. Okay.
So if there's room to run and circumvent this fucking slime orb head creature,
You'd have to go through it. You're looking through it.
right, and just take it up the entire area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to demand that my little servant boy draw diversion.
Almost
Fuck
you don't
no.
need to do that because Doomy has already pulled out 2 pistols and shot it.
Okay. Roll a d10 for me, please. You're no longer in wet conditions. I'll call it damp conditions. You'll
And still
misfire
cold.
on a 2 and 10.
I'm back in the cabin.
Yeah, you and Marius are both back in the cabin, I think.
I'm running away.
You're running away.
I say Marius.
1 and 7.
Let's go to your horse.
Okay, the one misfires, so that doesn't go off. The other one goes off, so roll me damage on a d8. I'm not even going to have to roll to hit. I mean, it's covering the whole thing. It's like the broadside of a gun. 6 points of damage. Bam! Okay. And what? Huh?
And then I turn and run.
Oh, okay, you shoot it and turn to run. Okay, what about you, Troy?
Well, I'm already hasted.
Mm-hmm.
Double normal of actions. I'm going to quickly cast 2 magic missile spells.
Okay. Go on and give me
So-
damage on them.
Alright, so that's 6 d4s per, so that's going to be 12 d4.
Mm-hmm.
So you see me reach, and this dampness, I reach both of my hands out, and I start pulling these shadows into my form. You guys have both run away at this point, so you're not going to see this swirling black shadows start to circumvent my body. And then I put my hands out, and these black missile orbs shoot out of my hands. 12 of them, to be exact.
Before I run away, I take out those potions that I have, and I say, Master, if you get injured, these will help. And then I run away.
So you throw these potions to the floor. I'm going to roll it. Apparently my numbers are not working on Dice Stream, so I got to roll it in person here.
What are the saving throws again on the character sheets?
What are they?
Yeah, what do you have here? Saving throws. Paralyze, yeah. Okay, I want all 3 of you to make paralyze saves as the creature vomits liquid time on you all.
Oh my god.
This is before my magic missiles hit, or after, or...
After, we'll say.
You better
Corresponding
believe
time.
it's a fail from me.
I did 27 points of damage.
27 points of damage. Jesus Christ! It's fucking. You've heard it severely.
I've also blown my entire load.
Roll your paralyze save, and do make a paralyze save as well. Lloyd, you failed, so you
Yes,
are
I did.
paralyzed.
Okay.
You'll take 1 hit point of damage per round, and you could resave every round.
Okay.
And was poison save, you said?
Yeah, poison save.
Alright, I failed. So 1 damage
You're
per
also
round.
paralyzed.
Oh, paralyzed as well, on top of it. Okay,
Mhm.
great.
I made
So
mine.
You made yours. You were not paralyzed, so you can keep running if you wish.
Do me! Don't leave me!
Next round. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. D6 plus your dexterity modifier.
Let me just check haste real quick and see if there was any defensive capabilities for it.
Okay. What'd you get on your initiative, Lloyd?
5.
Okay, so if you're just going to keep running, you don't have to roll initiative. It's only if you might turn back and fight.
I rolled a 2 on my initiative.
Okay, you beat the creature. I rolled a 1.
Oh, okay, good.
So you guys can roll your saving throws again, your paralyzed saves. Take 1 point of damage each, by the way, from the
No
liquid time.
worries.
Alright, pass this time. 19 on the die.
Okay, you have the ability to move again.
I passed as well with a 14.
And if I can move, I will move as far away from this thing as
You
possible.
can't move this round.
Okay.
So the creature is going to reach out and touch you, the hell's your name again?
Delat.
Delat, yep. So it does so. Oh, I rolled a crit, so that's going to hit you. It takes D6
The
damage.
books, they will be mine.
You take 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And
There's always an and.
Nope, that's it. Oh wait, flesh contact with it. Oh, and you also take another D4. So you take 3 more points, so a total of 8 points damage.
Ooh, ouch.
And then it's the next round. Everybody roll initiative. That's there.
When I'm going to do something which might influence the combat. I'm not sure.
What's that, Caius?
When I get to the organ room, I've been rummaging through my backpack. I'll play the dismissal tune on the organ.
It's going to take you.
I am out of there.
So what'd you guys get for initiative? Creatures
4.
at 6.
Oh, I forgot you roll every round in this, don't you?
Yeah, you roll around.
I got 14 plus. Is there a bonus?
You can't get a 14. It's a
You roll
D6.
D6.
Man.
Oh, D6. I rolled D. Well, geez, I rolled a 20 earlier and got a 2. I probably shouldn't have went first in that one before the creature either. Right. I rolled a 6, so I rolled better on the D6 than I did the D20.
You rolled a 6? Okay,
I
you and
did.
the creature will go simultaneously. So what are you doing?
You've seen me again pull. I pull out this small pocket knife from my side, and I slit a wound across my hand. And you, little dry-nosed Filipino boy, see me flick my hand in 4 different directions, and the blood splatters on the floor. And I'm casting mirror image. And 3 identical images to myself pop up all around me.
Okay.
So you see 4 forms of myself.
The creature attempts to attack you and misses. And what are you doing?
Running.
Okay, you turn and run.
Yeah.
Next round, initiative again. Just you and me now, Troy.
While this frenzied chaos is going down, Marius is at the top of the pit.
Yeah, you can't
he's
hear
pulled-
anything.
Yeah, he's uncoiled his rope and he's tying it off to the top of the trapdoor and tossing it down.
Cool. What'd you get on your initiative, Troy?
4 plus any modifier that there is.
The dexterity modifier, do you have one?
I do plus 1, so 5 total.
5, so you go first.
I don't want to leave these books, but I can't die here. So I turn and run as well. Double movement.
The creature is extremely hurt.
I know, but I can't do it. I got no spells left. Unless you give me... I don't have any...
So you guys are all going to run away?
I can't do
Hell
it.
yeah, I run away.
Okay, well that's
What, do I know the creature's really hurt?
Is it obvious to myself as I'm...
Oh,
The only
that
thing
was you who see it. Yeah, the 2 of you that were still there. But
It's such an alien,
Fuck
such an alien creature.
Fuck it.
I can't-
I'll go back and I'll shoot it with my gun.
I also have a pistol, so we're standing side by side
Yeah.
until the end.
I'd say,
Oh my
if I'm
God.
going to go down with anyone, it'll be with you.
then roll the hit.
Until the end.
I mean, you
monkey
can be
boy.
standing at the end of the hall. It moves very slowly. It'll take you a few rounds to get to you.
All right,
I'm on my skis.
Okay, it's 17 on the die, and I'm a, level 1 fighter, so I guess I'm good at this.
Oh yeah, you're gonna hit
You
damage.
get +2, but you get
Oh, well,
minus
roll
1 because you're
D10 to see if
cursed.
you misfire first. Sorry,
You gotta go
Oh,
disadvantage too because you're cursed, right?
that's true too.
Yep.
First time, minus 1.
Okay, it's a 9 on the D10.
Okay, so it didn't misfire. The gun goes off.
Okay, second dice is a 15 on the die.
Minus 1's 14. It's still gonna hit.
Okay, so the D8
Plus for fighters,
damage.
you've got like +6 or +7 to your roll. So damage.
No, he's a level 1.
2.
I mean, he's level 1. You're right. You're right. So he's got +2. 2 points damage. Okay,
Yeah.
what'd you get, Troy?
So I'm also at disadvantage because I have that stupid fucking necklace on me.
Yeah, you're cursed.
Damn it, necklace. I should have let the fucking dry nose have both of them. So I rolled a 13 and a 12. I get +1, which cancels out at a -1, so 12 on the die roll total modification.
That's gonna miss.
Alright, so I stand in by dry nose and I shoot this pistol, which I've never used before in my life. I'm barely able to even use it.
It's on the roast. It's moving slowly towards you.
You guys are dead.
I back up Oh, we're gonna
We're
roll
fucking
initiative
dead.
again?
What are you gonna do? Oh yeah, roll initiative again, sure.
6. Come on, rhinos!
Creatures
You're
like weird.
doomed. You're doomed.
I have a 5 with the +1.
You have a 5?
Yeah.
Okay, you go. Oh, sorry. Drynos goes first.
Okay, so I rolled twice. Worst of the two was 13. I don't know what my plus for fighter is.
You're at a -1 and then a +1, so that balances
+2.
out.
Isn't it +2 for a fighter?
Oh yeah, you're right. It's +2, so you're at 14. Yep.
Isn't there stupid loading times for these guns?
I have 2 pistols.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
4
You hit.
damage.
You hit, but it does no damage. It seems to be a superficial hit.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What are you doing then on your turn, Dalat?
So you see Delat fumbling with his pistol and getting frustrated with the mechanism. Just kind of tosses it to the side to the feet of the young Filipino boy, and then he pulls out his crossbow, light crossbow. He shoots that instead.
Roll.
Ooh, I got an 18 and a 16. And
Okay.
+1, -1, so 16 total.
Give me some damage.
Alright, so light crossbow d6. And I roll 6.
Okay, the creature begins to lose cohesion, and it liquefies. Some of the upper part of its body washing out into the hall around your feet.
You're dead.
Roll paralyze saves, please.
Nice.
Come on, rhinos!
I failed.
The majority of the liquid begins to collapse down into the pit. Every single globe suspended in the creature's body shatters against something. Streaks of discolored liquid are seen sliding along the walls and ceiling and seeping into stone like rain against a car window in high wind. There's a slight tremor in the ground. You guys feel this up in the hut as well, up in the cabin as well. The pit is now exposed, where the trunk of the creature's body once was contained. And it's deeper. It's so deep you can't tell how deep it goes. An eerily warm 10-second wall of air heaves up from the pit, followed by 10 seconds of air being drawn back in like a vacuum in endless alteration.
Oh my god, is it breathing?
The effect isn't strong enough to affect anything heavier than a copper piece, but it will push light airborne objects like loose scrolls around.
Holy moly, this thing's alive.
You can see the altar. You can walk around the pit. You don't have to cross over it. You can walk around the pit. You can see the altar with the 2 books upon it and the 2 golden goblets.
Unless you're paralyzed, which I am.
Yeah,
So
take a point of damage. Go ahead and roll another paralyze save.
I run over there and I grab the books and I grab the goblets and I start running.
Okay, you just grab them and start to run. There's doors. There's more doors there.
It's go time. I got the book and the master is stuck here, so I'm getting out of here.
I am paralyzed again as well on the second roll.
It's go time.
I'm like, no, Drinos! The books are mine! The
You know what
books
I'd like
are
to do?
mine, boy!
Can I push him into the hole? It's breathing.
Yes.
You can, yeah.
That's what I'll do. I'll push him into the hole. You treated me like shit for too long.
Nice.
I'm a man.
There is
You are a
a
man
gold
now.
inscription at the base of the altar.
Uh-huh.
It says, "We hail the nothing and offer this one unto it."
Okay, that's what I'll say. We held the nothing and I offer this one onto it and I push him into the pit.
Yeah, grand. Okay, and you do so. So, yeah.
And then I fucking peg it out of
As
there.
you do so, hold on. As you make that human sacrifice, a secret door opens beside the altar
Oh,
at the
fuck.
southwest corner.
I go. I run in. What's in there?
Okay, you run in.
Treasure!
It's another hall extending beyond you. There's a doorway to the right, which you see runs to a parallel hall on the other side of the wall. There's a door up on the left. There's a door straight up ahead of you as well that seems to be barred.
Oh, okay, the left.
You go over and open the door to the left, and you see a pair of sarcophagi inside.
Oh my.
The lid of the left sarcophagus is carved to resemble a full-sized portrait of a bloated man in a sitting position. Tiny arms are reaching out of the ground to claim him. The lid to the right sarcophagus depicts an equally enormous woman pulling a child out of her mouth face first.
Oh my god. Do I want to open those? Jesus.
Think of treasure.
Oh god. The treasure.
Money.
Money. Okay, so there's a woman pulling a child from her mouth.
Yeah, a huge woman pulling a child out of her mouth face first, or
That sounds like the good
a
one.
bloated man in a sitting position with tiny arms reaching out of the ground to claim him.
Fuck. Okay, let's open the man sarcophagus. That's less
Maybe
scary.
the man's the baby.
You open it, and you can see the man is there. The skin around his rib cage is rotting away. There are maggots the size of potatoes writhing in him and chewing at his skin. There is a platinum goblet right beside him.
Fuck yeah.
You grab it.
Yeah.
Okay. He reaches over to try to grab your hand as you do so,
Oh god.
and misses. I rolled a 5.
Oh my god.
So you grab the goblet as he reaches towards you, and he says to you, "Explain yourselves." Yourself, sorry, not yourself.
I say, I salute the nothing.
He sits up and he reaches towards you and says, "Come, touch my horrid flesh." I actually have a picture of this pair.
I say, no thank you, revered one. I have to go.
Give us a hug.
Aw. He wants you to touch his flesh.
I'm gonna pass on the flesh touching, and I'm gonna take what I got, which is an incredibly valuable. Oh god!
Not in the mood.
I'm gonna take this platinum goblet, which is more money than I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
and
the
I'll start-
lid starts to pop off of the other sarcophagus.
Fuck! I'm running,
Oh!
running so fast.
Okay, and where are you going?
Out. So, wait.
Not-
Is the pit goes down, not up, right? So like the
It
grate we
goes
looked
down,
through.
but there's also a shaft above it.
Is that the grate that we looked through earlier? Can I see
Look up, you can
the
see-
sky?
You can see a grate. Yes, indeed.
I'm climbing up.
I don't know if you can. Let me just see. Can you climb that thing?
Is there a ladder?
There's no ladder, but yeah, you can start to slowly climb. It's about 50-foot high shaft.
Okay.
It's gonna be a tough climb.
Okay, well, I mean, Trinos is nothing if not tough, so he's going to start climbing up there.
Give me a
Are you gonna
strength
open the
roll,
grate?
climbing check.
I'm going to shout until someone comes over and opens it.
Let's see. It's gonna take. So it's gonna take you. Okay. You climb all the way up to the top. It takes you several minutes,
Okay,
but you get there, and there's the grate.
right. I'm going to just start shouting. Help!
Can I hear him in the cabin?
No.
Sorry,
Help!
dude.
Okay. As you're doing so, yeah, the grate's not budging. You look back down below,
Uh-huh.
and you can still feel that air, that warm air,
Yeah.
every 10 seconds. And you see and you think you hear movement down below you.
Oh, Christ. Help! The grate's not budging at all, no?
Oh, God, no.
Is there anything I can do to make it budge? Fuck. God damn it. One of those aging potions. Can I smash it on the grate and see if it
It's
rusts?
freezing cold to the touch. Huh?
Can I smash one of those aging potions on it and see if it rusts?
Oh, you can smash one of those potions on it, yeah. It doesn't
wanna
rust. What does
Far away from me.
It's going to splash all over you. There's no way around that.
No, not on me.
Oh, it is. It is, yeah. Let me see here.
Oh my god, you're gonna turn 100.
So you get a numbing
Dino!
frozen sensation. I want you to make another strength check.
Can we hear the glass break from the inside?
God, no.
We couldn't hear him screaming.
He's hundreds of feet away from the cabin, and you're inside the cabin.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Strength check is a 16.
What's your strength?
18.
Oh, geez,
Well,
you make it. So you managed to hold
that's the
on,
fighter I had.
but you feel like your fingers are like freezing to the grate.
Okay. I'll pry them off so they don't get stuck. But I'll just begin shaking. Do I still have a gun? Oh, they're not loaded. I can't load it from here.
It'll take 10 rounds to load.
I have what's called 12 disciples, which is like a bandolier full of gunpowder, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to wrap it around a faraway grate and then light it, and it'll blow up and hopefully make noise.
Oh my god.
Try now!
You're like in the barrel of a gun.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Give me a dexterity check.
Yes, sir. A 19 on the die. Come on,
Give me
Rhino.
your -1s as well, don't forget.
So 18 then.
Okay. Okay. You get it. You light it. Flash of powder. A little poof. Blows up some of the snow. Make another strength check.
Oh, God. Oh, it's a 15. Included, so 16. 15
Okay.
minus.
You lose grip with one hand and you're hanging by one.
Oh, God.
Was it like a dud or was there an explosion?
And now you hear sounds beneath you. And guys, in the cabin, you guys hear sounds coming from outside the cabin.
Oh, my
I
God.
kick open the door.
You also hear sounds coming from down in the tunnel below. You kick open the door. You see thousands of corpses rising from the snowy ground.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh fuck that!
Mulling
I
about
run.
in the
I run
area.
to the horse. I take the horse and I leave.
You jump on the horse. You jump on Marius's horse to take off.
Hell yeah, dude! I cut the straps and I leave on it.
Then I'm gonna shoot him with my bow using my sneak attack.
Roll the hit.
Right in the back.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Roll the hit.
Oh, my goodness. Help me! I have lots of treasure!
You can't hear him over the moans of the zombies. There are literally like there's nearly 4,000 of these things.
6, and that's we roll a d20.
Yeah.
So with a +6, that's a 25.
What's the damage? D8 plus.
It's ×5 for the sneak attack.
Right.
Times 5.
Yeah.
Sorry. 10.
Ain't no horse thieves getting away with this in our town.
No, you just roll a D8 once. I think and multiply it by 5.
Yeah, and then times it. Yeah, I didn't have a d8 out.
Oh, I thought you were counting. I heard you. No.
So that would be 30 points of damage.
How many
I'm
hit
still
points?
alive. I book it.
Okay. You're wounded. You're bleeding, but you're taking off down the hill on this stolen
Do I have a
horse.
chance to take another shot?
Probably not with all the zombies around and him heading straight downhill.
Okay.
See
Then I'm
ya.
just gonna start running.
Okay.
I have treasure! Help me!
Well, the zombies are like out of the ground now, right?
Oh yeah, they're up and mulling around. They were out of the ground before you heard them.
And are they just mulling about, or are they like coming after me now?
But as
or-
you come out of the hut, they turn towards you and start to go in your direction. Yes.
Yeah,
What's
so
my-
then I'm gonna
Sorry.
You're gonna
run
what?
for it. Run for it.
Okay. What were you saying, Caius?
Does my dismissal fugue have any effect?
Oh yes, sorry, you did that several minutes ago. I apologize. I got so caught up in things I forgot.
No,
about
no, me too.
it. When you played the dismissal fugue. Here we go. Oh, interesting. So that's going to be D6. So there, and then a D10 there.
So this Scot
So
small
you are,
Scotsman.
when you do it, yes, you are teleported.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
This is going to be
They
so
really good or
awesome.
really bad?
You are teleported into, oh my god, is the door barred from the outside? No, okay. You're barred into a crypt, or you're teleported into a crypt. there is a long-robed skeletal lord sitting in his throne, his
Oh my
leering,
God.
skinless head slightly askew beneath his massive crown. Oh, I have a picture
Oh
of this.
my God.
Contemplating
Is-
unknown depravities and escape. He gazes
Is this the guy in the mural?
He's wearing very expensive jewelry. It is indeed. He doesn't
So
move.
dead.
He does not move to attack you. But let me just bring up a picture of him so you can see.
These
So
serve me, my son.
And while this is going on, while you're hanging at the grate, Dry Nose, I can never remember your damn name. Zombies drop down at the top of the grate and start clawing at your hands.
Oh fuck. Okay. Oh my god, that is menacing.
Oof, oof.
Dude.
And I have a question, actually.
Yes.
Given that my horse wouldn't enter the cemetery, wouldn't it have taken him time to reach the horse crossing the graveyard if the grate itself was that far away?
That's a fair point.
That is a good point.
It probably would have taken.
Whatever, these things were pulling themselves out of the graves. I booked it.
It probably would have
Took
taken
the
a couple
horse.
of rounds, so I'd say you need to make.
The movement here is actually really big.
Yeah,
in
I'd
this
say you
game.
need to make one dexterity check for me, Philip,
All right.
just to see to avoid any clawing hands as you're running. I'm gonna have Marius make the same roll as he's trying to flee past the zombies as well. Afterwards,
I had a 16.
you rolled a 16. What's your dexterity?
10.
So you would take one attack from the what are they called? They are called Hell Filth or something like that.
Okay.
What are they called? They are called. Oh, these are called mass grave victims. So let me just see. What's your armor class?
My AC is going to be 17.
I rolled a 12, so they don't get through your armor, but they're clawing at your chainmail. So the end result ultimately is the same.
Okay.
Marius, go ahead and roll a dexterity check for me too as you're trying to escape past the.
I rolled
zombies.
a 13.
A 13.
My dexterity is 18.
Oh yeah, you get past them and you're running down the mountain. You're much faster than them.
Okay.
You can see the horse speeding off in the distance, but in fact, you really need
Would it
some
be
kind of,
within?
kind of a ride check. In fact,
Because my range is up to 900. I don't know what that equates to.
what's that with the pistol?
I got a longbow.
Oh, okay. Philip, I need you to make a wisdom check for me. And what are you doing, Lloyd, as these zombies are clawing at you through the grate?
They're clawing at my hands. They're not trying to pull the grate up or anything.
No, they're clawing at your hands. They're trying to get your flesh.
I rolled a 2 for my wisdom check.
Okay, yeah, you managed to keep the horse going down the hill without losing seating.
Remember, he doesn't
breaking a
have
leg.
reins either. He cut those.
Well, I didn't. Okay, I cut off the rein right by where the spike is, so still rein, not a big deal.
Climb down a little bit and see if the zombies tear the grate out.
That's what I'll do. Yeah.
Roll strength check, please.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure they'll be happy to pull you out, too.
It's a crit.
It's a crit. You
Yes,
roll
sir.
a 20.
I rolled a 20.
You fall.
Excellent.
You fall into the shaft. The same shaft that Troy fell into earlier.
How far does it go?
I will
Oh,
tell you
no.
2 seconds.
So you followed your master.
Yeah.
Um,
If it's falling for long enough, I'll draw a dagger so I can end myself before I hit whatever's down here.
Yeah, you don't want to come down in the shadows where I am.
No.
Especially with that book that I've been searching for.
the whole thing here. Okay, here we go. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, when you kill the creature. It is thousands of feet deep.
Wow. All right, you know what I'll do then? I'll take all my remaining gunpowder and I'll wrap it around myself. All right, so get it all in one big bit, and just when it's about to hit the bottom, I'll light and blow up.
Oh shit! What kind of damage would that do?
I don't know. A lot.
Massive.
Okay, well before we resolve that, let's resolve what's happening with everybody else. So, Caius, back to you. You're standing there before this throned gentleman.
Crying with the unfairness of it all, and
Mhm.
cursing everybody. And is it reacting at all?
He says to you, 700 years have I waited, barred by an oath from leaving this tomb, unless I am invited to lead my force into battle again. I offer you a truce.
Mm-hmm.
Do you accept?
700 years, he says, eyeing some of the gold around the room. You must be pretty desperate to leave. What can you offer me to invite you
I was
out?
embalmed here longer ago than that. I have only been awake for 700 years.
Look, I'd really like to help you and everything, but I'm pretty poor, and my life won't be worth living unless I can get back to civilization with something to show for all this trouble I've
I
been through.
too long to get back to civilization. I have been trapped here. I'm forbidden to leave unless a being from the surface requests I lead an army.
Lead an
If you will
army?
make this agreement with me of your own free will, then I will allow you to leave this place alive.
And how about later with your army? Will you try killing me then?
I will take an oath.
Just a minute. He kneels down. He kneels down and says, "Dear father, please forgive me for what I am about to do." And says, "All right, we've got a deal. I invite you."
So he goes past you and he opens the door behind you. He turns a quick left and right, little zigzag in the corridor, and opens the door on the right, opens the bar, opens the door into another small crypt. This is the crypt of the testifier. The door is covered in dozens of hooks across which a collection of withered faces are stretched. The sarcophagus of the testifier is unadorned, and the testifier himself, Ervik Narn, is little more than a thin membrane of yellowed skin pulled across a skeleton. Think something like Hellraiser. As soon as the creature lays eyes on you, it says, "What oath do you take?" And then it sees the praetor beside you. The praetor says, "We must swear an oath." He says that he will go first. He says, "I, Praetor Pontifex Cyrus Carnothrax Maximus, hereby inculcate this oath to never by means indirect or direct harm this mortal I now look upon, who is known by the name of..." He asks you your name.
McDwyer.
McGuire.
McDwyer. McDwyer with a D.
McDwyer. He says, "Now you, repeat after me.
Mm-hmm.
I hereby request
I hereby request
that he lead the armies of this place
that he lead the armies of this place
on the field of battle
on the field of battle
and swear to aid
and swear to aid
Praetor Pontifex
Praetor Pontifex
Cyrus Carnothrax
Cyrus
Carnothrax Maximus in his flight from this consecrated mountain, and to protect his safety until such time as he is transported to a place occupied
until he's transported to a place occupied
by no less than 8,008 living and mortal human souls.
So he's transported to a place by no less than 8,008 mortal and living souls? Is that correct?
And he begins to take you around to the different crypts to pick up his friends.
Oh dear. I've got a bad feeling about
There's
this.
the the testifier that you just swore the oath before. Takes you in to get this guy.
Oh my goodness.
This is the exalted interrogator, Ethelred Aleph. You collect from another crypt. Where is it? Here we go. The Red Architect, who we mentioned earlier. The Slaughterer, known as Vorgan Pox, who wears this mask.
Oh my goodness.
And the twins, who Lloyd encountered earlier. And as he collects all of them and his thousands upon thousands of zombies in the crypt here, which will be his army, there's like 7,000 or 8,000 of them. Unfortunately, as the boy, what was your name again?
Dry nose.
What's your real name? Tell us before you die.
Guan.
Guan. As Guan hits the base and self-immolates, as Sward, thinking he has escaped, is riding this horse down the mountain, as Marius is trying to rain more arrows down upon him. You explode at the base, and you awaken the sleeping giant beneath.
What?
Oh yes. The pit was several thousand feet deep. It leads to the nostrils of a great sleeping giant. Ages ago it fell asleep here, and the mountain is the result of millions of years of dust forming and solidifying over it. The giant wakes up, the mountain is instantly destroyed, crushing everything in it and on it to jelly with no saving throws. That includes all of you. Anything in its nose will last a second longer until it picks its nose and a 100-foot long finger crushes you to bits. And that's the end of Death Frost Doom. Thanks for playing. Happy Halloween.
That was brilliant. Oh my god.
Oh my god.